stranger. Stressed. Been looking for work.
What you looking for?
2 ounces of hard white.
Bitch.
People are always asking me, Kiki, the books that you write, is that about you? Is that about your life? I used to rob drug dealers. I used to traffic drugs. I was a savage. I used to get it, and I didn't care who I got it from.
I've been looking for you for 2 weeks. Where is my money?
And now I can sit here and show you guys a glimpse of my life before I turned it around.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, Kiki. Think harder, right? Where's my goddamn money at?
Mrs. Santana, you look stunning. What are you wearing? And tell us about this new venture in the fashion industry.
I'm wearing a piece from my own line. It's called Kais, designed by my brilliant partner and friend, Karen Blackwell.
Wow. Look at Adriana Santana. She's hot. I don't see Louis anywhere, though. I noticed Sheldon Chisholm and his family are here. Not to mention the other half dozen criminals in here.
Oh, no, you don't. We're here to have fun.
But why are you here alone? Where's your recently acquitted husband, Louis?
Louis is back home resting. He has his share of bright lights and cameras. We just want to leave that whole thing behind us.
No work today. We've been here for 5 minutes and you're already profiling people? Come on now.
And what else are you looking to see tonight?
All of my friends and to show off her brilliant work. Everything that you're about to see.
We can't wait for it.
The only reason I invited you is because you're my best friend and we never get to spend time together. Plus, you're killing it in that dress. Here comes Jess. I wanted to introduce you to.
You done?
Roger that.
Then why do you have it?
She told me to keep it!
I'll be out in a minute. Stop with the lies!
He's a very flashy Haitian with a penchant for violence. There's no one to play with, Haitian.
Where's my goddamn money at?
Sakura is dead.
Play with me again. I'm tired of hearing you talk all the time. Save it. Save it.
She's my friend. She's my friend.
But I will not give up. I will not give in. And I will not get caught. Time to go hunting.
And the winner is Wes Clark. Congratulations.
Yes, she's my mother.
Rock stars. There is nothing like those wild, rebellious party animals. Entry number 60.
When I decided to pursue acting, I never thought it was this difficult after weeks of being homeless, jobless, sleeping on my friends' couches. I'm finally here!
Just take care
What are you
of
doing?
yourself. What's going on?
Drive, they're
Terry.
coming!
Where have you been? I've been calling you on your cell phone all day.
At work.
Faith wake up, dope sick, fiending for a snip. Left the house, ain't tell her husband she was gone, she just dipped.
Why is it that you are taking large sums of money out of our account every single day?
While her family's at home, she's out there chasing that high. Roaming up and down the block, she run into this pimp guy. He's conversating with her, asked her if she tryna make cash. Next thing you know, she's in front of the pink house selling the ass. Then she gets dope sick again. She need that boy, so she out there searching again. She's tired of her life. For years she done wrong. Now she wanna do right. She go to rehab to get the help she need, and she tell her family.
I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax. Probably more infamous.
I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
So we have the extended version of the dream sequence right here. Sheldon comes to visit Yoshi in her hotel room after their meeting. Yoshi looks a little nervous at first, but then you see things get a little steamy after he throws her against the wall. And right here, Yoshi thinks she has everything under control because that's how she manipulates men, through her sexuality. So In her mind, she has him right where she wants him. You see, that's Yoshi though. She's hot, she's sexy, she's manipulative. She uses sex to get the upper hand on men. Get the win no matter what the cost. And as you can see, this is not exactly the result she was looking for. We shot this scene in Atlanta. Chuck Gomez was the director of photography. Great scene, good acting by Zasha and Wilner.
For pop R&B artist Jamela.
I picked Kelly. Yeah!
Handle this in the morning, please?
No, I think I want to handle this right now. You can give your time to the studio boy, but I think your man can get a few minutes. Alright? Hey, don't walk away from me!
You're hurting me. Stop, please.
Get in the car.
I've been down this roller coaster, running around in circles. We go trips around the moon. So confused, so scared.
Standing next to me is one of the sponsors of tonight's fabulous event, music mogul Lance Wallace. How are you, Lance?
Good evening, Michelle. I'm well, thank you.
Excellent. Now, are you concerned with the recent backlash for the drug charges against your group, Grind Time? And what's the status of the case?
Worth a Billion Inc. and its artists will always maintain its innocence. This is clearly a misunderstanding. And we're here to promote positivity and give opportunity to our people and to all people. That's it.
And so what do you think about Mr. Wallace is here to promote his fashion line? He will only be answering questions about that subject.
Thanks.
So actually we got everything up until the part where you started doing that, so we'll probably start there, but we're going to move in closer and get a closer shot of that. That's we'll be done with that. And then I think he wants to do some steady cam stuff, so. Obviously, when the first real action before they all start moving and stuff, girls are going to be engaging, talking, drinking, whatever. You're engaged in that, and then let them do. So don't ever stop. Don't look at them until if she pulls her out, y'all can kind of look in like trying to think what's she doing. Hey, that's it. But other than that, I want to keep the action moving. All right.
No, all you can say is there's Lewis around. That's all you gotta say. There's Lewis around. That's all you gotta say.
Hello, Ms. Lomax. I'm Jasmina. I'm the VP of Lewis's New York division.
Is Lewis around?
Yes, of course. Crystal? Can you show Ms. Lomax to the Grand Suite?
Right this way, Miss Lomax.
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the council on the IE network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Trina Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk brought you each and every Monday by B2S Media. There we go. And we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. And, of course, Facebook, the social network, and IG, Instagram, both, aka Meta. So what's going on, man? Another week. And yeah, we just had the SAG Awards. Actually, a little different presentation of the SAG Awards. This might be the first time that they're done on Netflix. So that's interesting. I'm wondering if people are feeling that. I should have put a poll up on the in the chat room. Are you feeling the Netflix presentation of an award show? Would you rather see an award show on a streaming service? More raw, more no commercials. You know, even though they kept it to a minimum, they could curse, use profanity if they wanted to. I don't know. What do you think? Or do you rather just keep it on television? You know, tell me what y'all think. I think I'm going to say, we'll talk about it in a second. Let me put a poll up here. Let's say, was you guys feeling that? Can I put the poll? Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. You guys tell me if y'all were feeling it, or we just put it in the chat room. Was you guys feeling Netflix? Would you like Netflix presentation of the awards? SAG Awards. We'll see. Y'all tell us what you think. Would you rather, is that how you want your award shows now? Presented on a streaming platform as opposed to a television network? I don't know. I'll give you my answer in a few minutes. And, of course, we'll quickly go to the weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. For the weekend of February 23rd through the 25th, we have Migration still up there. Made $3 more million over the weekend. Brings the worldwide total to $268 million. Then we have number 4 is Madam Web. Oh, jeez. $6 million it made, that movie. Ugh. It's actually at a worldwide total of $77 million. I'm surprised it's even that. I'm surprised it even got that much. Number 3, Ordinary Angels. Ordinary Angels just came out on the 23rd, debuted this week, and it's at $6.5 million. Demon Slayer, $11.6 million. This looks like an animated film. It looks, yeah, it's animation. It's at 28 million worldwide. Just came out. And number one is Bob Marley. One Love. Still holding at number one. It was number one last week, I believe. And it is now at $120.5 million. $120.5 million. So get out. That's worldwide. Go out there. Check out the Bob Marley movie. As soon as you can. As soon as you can. It is award season. And we had, and that is your weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. It is now award season, as we already know. We're in the thick of it right now. Shout out to the chat room. Everybody in the chat room, hold us down. Joseph Tanner, what's up, my dude? Shout out over there on Instagram, IG. Everybody that popped in and said, what up, what up, what up, what up? I'm trying to stay with y'all. You know, we need to do a search and get us someone who can work the chat rooms, right? We need like a chat room worker. See how that is. What up, IG? As we put it in there. Yep. Thank you, everybody that's popping in, even if you're popping out. Before you pop out, share this with somebody. Share it with your friends. You can share the live via the chat room there on IG. What's up, 7? Definitely, you guys, as you pop in, before you pop out, share the live. I see what up. I saw my man Ronnie Homer popped in. What up? Nice. Canarsie boy, long time. What's good? Appreciate seeing you in here. Hopefully you come back through. Word up, man. So definitely everybody over there. I'm gonna be popping in and out of IG, checking y'all out. We got some cool things to talk about today. So first, it is award season, and we will be talking about the Screen Actors Guild Awards, SAG AFTRA Awards, which aired on Netflix. It aired live on Netflix, and it was like Saturday or something like that. Like, it was weird, like a weird day. I was expecting it to be on Sunday, but it aired live on Saturday. So Netflix had the whole thing there. You can always go back and watch it. Little weird though. You have to kind of watch the whole thing and maybe fast forward through parts. There's no not skippable. There's no chapters, at least not yet. And yeah, it was a little different this year. First time back since the strike. Everybody was excited out there in full blast. Everybody had their red carpet thing going. And Idris Elba kind of hosted. I don't know if he was like actually hosting, but he was out there. He said, but the funny thing is, so this is on Netflix, first time that they've done this, and people were, cussing. Like, it was like not a lot, but because it is Netflix, there's no censorship, so to speak. So thought that was interesting. No commercials, so they had to buy the time in between. It was a little choppy. But I don't know. I think I might be kind of feeling this way on the streamers. No commercials, obviously. That's a plus. But you gotta kind of make sure you buy time and not no awkward in between the middle time. They had the two hosts that they had. I don't remember their names, and that's all you really need to hear. I don't remember their names. They were not very memorable hosts to me. I didn't think they did that great of a job. They were interviewing people on the red carpet. They were interviewing people backstage after a win, like a little winner's circle area. I don't know if they did that enough, but they couldn't keep cutting to it because the show had to go on, right? Um, yeah, so we'll talk about that. Also, I want to talk a little bit about this Jenna Ortega film that just came out. It came out last month, I think. And I was talking about this before. It's a film called Miller's Girl. And it's been some of course it's controversy, right? We talk about controversial movies tonight. You have that, and then you have Mia Culpa, which was the new Tyler Perry psychological, not really psychological, it was more like a erotic thriller, sort of, supposedly. And all the kind of like, I don't want to say backlash, but the talk about that. People are kind of, Kelly Rowland starred. She actually co-produced it. She co-produced it, or she's one of the executive producers on the project. Tyler Perry actually made that known in his their interview on Kelly on Kelly Clarkson's show. Which is cool. She actually was one of the producers. And of course, the buzz and the talk is all about this so-called graphic. Well, it is kind of graphic. I don't want to say graphic. I'll say explicit sex scene or whatever, right? Especially, this is the first time you ever see Kelly Rowland in this type of compromising position. uh, and So there's a big buzz about that. But a lot of people, a lot of the critics are killing the movie. I mean, it's the same. I mean, this movie has been done 100 times over. It's the same type of one of those movies, like Fatal Attraction, or like a Basic Instinct type of, one of those, erotic, psychological thrillers type of film, So, I mean, it's been going on for the longest. It's not like these are new type of, Obsessed and all these other films. Like, it's nothing new. So, some of the critics was killing it. But we'll talk about that. And like I said, the Miller's Girl film with Jenna Ortega is definitely a controversial topic, somewhat taboo, maybe. It's about a young girl who was a student who she actually purposely seduces her professor, her instructor or teacher, whatever. So it's a teacher. The man is clearly like in his 50s, uh, a, with a female student who is, I think she's 18, supposedly. Um, so there's some quote unquote controversy about that. People, it's a lot I don't want to unpack about it because this generation is hilarious. I got something for you Gen Zers out there. A wake-up call to all of you. Stop trying to play the moral superiority route and talk about how, oh my God, this is so controversial. Oh, this is that. So much sex. Remember, we did a few months ago, we did the poll, or not the poll, we did the article that talked about they polled different Gen Zs and they don't like sex in movies and sex in television and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, cool, but we'll get to it after my Jedi Council joins me. I got something to say about that. But stop with the hypocrisy, please. But this whole so-called controversial subject, I don't know what that is. This is real. That's real life. It's a story that happens in real life. Teachers, instructors, especially college instructors, more so than high school. They get involved with students all the time. Unfortunately, it's not ethical. We all know that, but it happens. So there's things that we've seen. I used to teach, so I know a lot of things that's happened through the years. I've heard things, I've seen things, I've witnessed things, but I'm from a place we don't do no ratting. Shh, just tell me what happened. He got caught with the caught with the anyway. So yeah, we'll talk about that in the taboo subject. We we want to shout out to everybody who's come through. What's up over there at IG? We love you over there. We appreciate y'all popping in, popping out. Just make sure before you pop out, you share. Drop a comment. We'll read your comment on air. Drop a comment. Let us know. Let me know. Sometimes I don't know your IG names, so drop a comment. Say, yo, this is what up, West. This is so and so from so and so, and I'll give you a shout out. We don't do it old school. Shout out. Rep your city. And we'll talk about it. We appreciate y'all joining us. And you are watching and listening to, of course, Real Talk with the Jedi Council and the director. I am the director, and I brought my Jedi Council with me. Well, here's one now. Ralph, you in the building, brother? Where you at?
Hey everybody, what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight?
What's going on, Ralph? What's
Not
popping,
much.
bro?
Another exciting, fun-filled day. Talking about movies. Talking about movies.
Talking about movies. I'm sure Kev will be joining us soon. So there's a couple things to talk about. Of course, we'll get to the SAG Awards. We'll get to even with that being said, we'll start with that as far as SAG Awards being broadcasted on Netflix. I think this is the first time they've done that. I don't remember them doing this before.
I think it is the first time.
I think it's the first time.
Look, I'm not too sure if I'm with this whole streaming thing of every single thing. I mean,
the funny thing is they didn't do what do you mean every single thing, like the awards or something?
Well, they stream the
category?
award. No, the SAG Awards are showcased on Netflix. You have Peacock showing NFL games, and I think the whole thing is it's I don't know. I'm not with it because I don't know. I could possibly pick up.
It's adjusting, bro. Peacock is just an extension of NBC. They got from a business standpoint, they have to. You gotta adjust, bro. As our generation dies off, and the new generation continues to grow. I mean, you gotta get their attention. You can't just it can't just be catered to us no more. It's just the way it
Well,
is.
why
So
not?
what do you mean why not? Because we're dying off. Our generation is dying off. That's why.
And you gotta evolve. It's evolution. You have to evolve.
Got to
You can't.
evolve. It's evolution, and people are not sitting home and watching TV, bro. That's why. They're not just doing it because it's the thing to do. They're looking at numbers, bro. Nielsen numbers are showing that people aren't
the
sitting at
NFL
home.
said they lost like what $15 million from broadcasting that Chiefs playoff game because it was on Peacock compared to having it on regular TV. I'm much more concerned about that kind of number.
They lost that money from sponsors. Yeah, they lost that money from advertisers probably. Not because of viewers. They lost it because of advertisers. Obviously, you get more advertisers if you broadcast it on television.
And if they were smart, what they should have did, they should have broadcasted on both because a lot of people still watch over the air digital TV. I still watch over the air digital TV,
especially for football.
Sports is definitely still watched on television. All right, but once again, a lot of people on the go.
they should have did both, because a lot of
But
people might be on the go. They want to watch their stuff on. I do it all the time. Like I have the NFL package at home, and then I get the NFL, NFL.com, the NFL Network on my phone, so I can watch it when I'm on the road or when I'm running around. I can still keep up and watch the plays. I mean, it's what it is now. I mean, people,
but
cable is
but
still off the charts, and to have regular TV these days, you still need cable. So
but the downside for people is that NBC, like Wes was saying before, they're trying to evolve, and also what they were trying to do, I think, is bring users to their app. They were trying to gain
of
users. So
course,
by not
of course.
broadcasting it on regular TV, I didn't even know that that's what they were doing. Because to be honest with you, Ralph, the way I watch everything on NBC, I watch it through the Peacock app, or you get the NBC. See, the other thing you can do is you can get the NBC app and watch stuff. But unfortunately, they wasn't broadcasting it through the NBC app. So you had to watch it through the Peacock app. But I didn't know that's what they were doing. I just knew it was going to be on Peacock, so I just went there to watch it.
I didn't know either. I thought the guy on First Take, Mike,
Mhm.
he went ballistic because he was saying, how the old generation didn't know anything about it and they missed the game because it was on Peacock. And then I saw the NFL said they lost like $15 million on the game. I mean,
Well,
$15 is
that's their
fifteen
fault
million
for not
dollars.
broadcasting it. That's their fault for being cheap and not
Yeah, not
broadcasting it
dual,
on
but yeah,
TV
not
as
dual
well.
broadcasting.
They
Yep.
should have did both sides. They should have went and put it on NBC. NBC probably, since they decided to do it on Peacock, then that means NBC decided to schedule something else for the programming because they didn't get their slot. So that must have been what it is. But yeah, it is a evolution that is inevitable, just like everything else that's happening. Um, and if you're trying from a business standpoint, you're thinking you don't want to go out of business. And I mean, after our generation is gone, the next generation and the generation after that, they're not going to be thinking as much about TV. We all know
Please,
that.
they're
I
gonna have
tell
microchips built into their heads or their arms or something where
well,
they could just
that's what they're
like
gonna
looking
do.
at like back then when you used to look at wristwatches, you're gonna look at your wrist and a screen is gonna pop up out your wrist or something. That's how you're gonna
Yeah.
watch TV.
Hell, I could already watch TV on my wrist with my
It
watch.
won't even be a watch. It'll be a microchip. It'll be a microchip in your skin, and you just go
Yeah.
like you hold your watch, and like a screen will pop out, and you could just watch it as you're
Hey,
walking
man.
around or something.
So that
Well,
that
I
that would
mean,
that would hurt every time because that would be some kind of radiated laser.
but regardless,
be like,
yeah,
be like,
regardless, I can see that happening too. But this is what I'm saying. You are in the business of being a consumer and bringing stuff, the product to people, service to people. You
in the
got to
most
go with the
convenient and
times.
the most convenient
Most
manner.
convenient way. Most convenient manner. That's what people pay for. People don't pay. They pay for convenience, right? That's what they pay for. That was the hook for cable when cable was hot. It gave you all these channels, which was convenient, right? You had more channels to choose from. Very convenient.
Yeah,
But
it's
now
true.
you have all. That's why you have all of these. Now that's the
But
evolution, right? I
but
mean,
now it's
we did
different
it.
because
Did it
now
in music, from records to tapes to CDs. I mean, yeah, CDs. Then
the MP3.
now it's MP3s. Now, yeah. I mean, I know DJs. Dope. Shout out to all my DJs out there. Shout out to DJ Stacy Styles. Shout out to my man King Deuce, King Spin Deuce DJ. Um, Yo, everything is on the computer now. They don't have records no more. They got all this
Actually,
stuff
no,
on the
no, no.
computer,
Actually, no. They still
on the
got records.
drive.
They still got vinyl. But what they have now is they have the vinyl that that that
But they got
they have the
Serato. They got the
yeah
Serato
Serato,
thing, and then they
right,
got the little vinyl thing that goes with it. But
right.
meaning they don't have their crates of records no more. They don't need them.
Nah,
They got
Well,
they
some
got all
people,
of
well,
their stuff on.
some people do still do
I mean,
like
some people that's
house
that's
DJs.
selected few, but most
Yeah,
DJs now
Got
it's
every
about
every
being able to move around, get where
down
you gotta
fast.
go. It's
So
all
yeah,
yeah, it's all that's what it is. We're living in that age now. So it's like, and on top of that, to be quite honest with you, like I said, unless you're doing a themed party or you just select a few people that just refuse to upgrade or whatever, that is, I mean, it's actually real talk. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's better than the sound of vinyl, but for being a DJ, it's better because you could move around and you got
and you don't got you could
thousands and thousands of music of of music
You're pulling
choices
out
of
you're
on the
music,
pulling
track.
out the
and
club in 10
and
minutes, where before it took you an hour plus to
out, yeah,
pack
and you
all that
could
stuff
bump
back up.
and you could
Yep,
bump
you
the
could.
turntable and ain't got to
And
worry
don't
about
skip.
and don't
Ain't
skip.
got no skipping. Yeah, see, we needed that when Bilal needed that when Chill kept bumping the table. Boom. Yo,
I'm trying to mix.
Because
shout out to
even
Chill
when they
Daryl
did
Chill Mitchell.
yeah, even when they came out with the CDJ 1000 from whatchamacallit, and you could put the disc in, it was still a problem because if
Yeah,
somebody bumped the table
yeah.
really hard, it would
Yeah.
still
Those,
skip.
what's funny? Those they lasted kind of long, but they went out faster than I thought they would.
Well,
Those joints.
that's because because they went out as fast because the industry saw where everything was going with MP3
Yeah,
and with
yeah,
streaming. They was like, "Yo, we got to switch this
yeah,
over." This is why now you're able to find and I know how it's being done. And I'm gonna tell on Amazon a little bit.
yeah. I'm telling.
Amazon, the way Amazon gets a lot of their music, low key, in my opinion, is they have people like me who have music that's not on their
Hmm.
servers that I've
Hmm.
uploaded myself from my personal record collection, from
Yeah,
LPs and from from cassette and stuff like that. That's not it's not even on their radar. And what Amazon used to do, and I don't know if they still do it, 'cause I haven't done it in a while. They used to let you upload your catalog to their server.
okay.
And then I
Yeah,
think they were
yeah,
going into people's server and going into people's personal accounts and taking that music and like, oh, look at this. I said shut up by Mutu. And if you're a person like me, you want the whole album, the whole 33, both sides, A and B side, and all the
hmm,
songs that's on on your on your phone. And
Yeah.
it's cataloged as a as an LP or whatever, as an EP actually. Um, and I'm pretty sure they've been taking some of that because slowly but surely I've been seeing like for example, I can't find it now, but I found it once about 5 years ago. The song "Boom Boom 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 Boom" by Original Concept, Knowledge Me Ahmed.
hmm.
Yo, you couldn't find
Okay,
that nowhere unless it was on record. I went on Amazon one
right.
day and just happened to type it in and it popped up. Now the original version is not on there. The version that's on there now is some updated version that they have with the song. The other
Hmm.
thing you can't find no more is the original Lottie Dottie. You have to
Hmm.
That's been hard to
literally,
find for years. You
yeah,
gotta like search for
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You have to go and literally physically go. You can't even find even when LimeWire was online and you
Hmm.
were searching on there for stuff. You couldn't even
Hmm.
find it on there, the original version, because it would skip past that part. You
Yep.
would have to go and find the original record that was the original cutter record from back in the
Hmm.
day, and that's how you'd be able to have that song.
Yeah,
So
I
Yeah.
got I got a couple of things when I got married. Like I have well, I still do. I have a huge CD collection, but part
Hmm.
of it was like going to Virgin Records at 1 in the morning
hmm
and digging through and getting those
yep,
imports with all the rare stuff. So
exactly.
so when me and my wife broke up, she lost one of my folder albums, and they had like 333 discs in it.
Wow,
Right. Right.
wow.
Oh,
Some of that stuff I cannot find anywhere. And they're like remixes. Like I had oh man, like T-Boz put this song out that's on the Fled soundtrack called Touch Myself. Right? Nice song, but she did a remix to it. I can't find it
Yeah.
anywhere, nowhere. And I had the remix to MC Lights Lighters and Rock, because the remix is not the version that's on the record. The remix is the video version that it has a
Right.
boom, boom, boom. That's the remix version. You can't find that. No, I have not been able to find that anywhere. So like, and now since a lot of places don't carry CDs anymore, there's like two places in New York City that I can go find old disc. One is this Japanese MAGA store, right? And I've been able to find some of the stuff that I got missed, but a lot of those imports, forget it, they're gone.
Ask
Never
Ralph.
found them.
Give the people the locations. What's the name of the store?
Oh, it's called hold on a minute, I'll tell you in a second. I still got the business card. It's on West 46 and between 5th and 6th Avenue.
That's 46 between 5th and 6th. Okay.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if you're into they sell comic books, they sell video games, and not only they sell video games, they sell video games from Japan themselves. You can get
Oh man.
Oh, Book Off. 40. I guess this is an unofficial plug, although they need to be paying me. It's called Book Off. It's 49 West 45th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. It's closer to 6th Avenue. Right. But yeah, you can get comic books, DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs. They sell video game systems, magazines, Japanese comic books, all anime. You can find all kinds of them. I mean, you literally, it's like one place say, I'm gonna go digging through some stuff. You can literally go digging through whatever you want to find. You can go digging through it and find some stuff. It is awesome. They buy CDs, they buy video games, they buy electronics. So you can take your old stuff if you feel like I don't want it anymore. You can take it there and sell it off and exchange it for get store credit or get cash for new stuff. The place is awesome. But yeah, it's called Book Off. 49 West 45th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Now, Book Off. Send us a check.
Exactly.
Book Off need to send us a check right now.
You know what's funny about what you just said, Ralph? Before I got on air, and I forgot the show was even on. I was sitting here watching Gotcha Man on High Dive, and that's another one that's hard to find. I was surprised to even find it on here because I've been looking for years for it to find the digital copy of it, but you can't get it for sale. It's only for only to watch. You can't find it for the digital copy for sale. I have a whole box set of the original Gotcha Man, the Japanese version, then I have the American dub version of Battle of the Planet. And some of that stuff is just, I would love to go to that store, man. That's
check out,
I miss and
make sure they send us a check when y'all get out there. But yo, bro, we just bigged y'all up. Send us a check. But I really want to get back to the topic at hand, where the Netflix broadcasting now shows, a live award shows. The first time they done it. And it was a little choppy at first, in my opinion.
What they broadcast?
Huh? I'm sorry?
What they broadcast? What Netflix broadcast?
They broadcasted the SAG Awards.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Screen Actors Guild Awards on Saturday was live on Netflix for the first time. And what I mean by it was choppy, I mean, it was smooth. It wasn't choppy, like as far as buffering or nothing, but I mean, like, because they don't have commercials, so they gotta actually just keep rolling. They were going back and forth, like trying to interview people backstage in the winner's circle and cutting back to the show. So that was a little, it was okay. I don't remember the hosts that they had. It was two hosts, a male and a female. And I don't remember them. That's all you need to know, because they weren't very memorable. Didn't really do that great of a job interviewing. I thought the male, he was a little too friendly. Like, you could be friendly, but personally, I don't think you should be, and I've been doing this for a while. I don't think you should be hugging guests, you know what I'm saying, or trying to hug guests, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like, do your job, give them a nice little shake, little pound, whatever, nothing too crazy. But and even if you do that, if the guest does it to you, that's different. But don't make the motion like that. It was a little unprofessional in my opinion. And he kept whoever the gentleman was, he kept dropping his mic. Never drop your mic. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here cringing because I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you dropping your mic for? And even if they had their own mic, you never drop your mic. You know what I mean? So especially if you're talking. So it's like a couple of times he was picked up on, a couple of times he's picked up on their mic because he dropped his mic for whatever reason. It's like, but anyhow, so they were doing that. But one thing my first complaint right out the gate. You're on they got this whole 3-hour thing on Netflix. It's like the pre-show, the red carpet and all that stuff and the show. Why
They
in the
always have
heck?
that though.
No. Let me finish. Why in the heck, if you have all this, why are you announcing the stunt awards before the award show even comes on? So they pretty much did like a pre-show, and it wasn't even like a show. It wasn't in the theater at all. It was outside, pretty much on the red carpet or silver carpet or whatever they had. And two people other than the hosts came and they kind of read the stunt awards, the people who won for stunt ensemble and stunt. So I just thought that, I'm like, there's only like a couple of categories. Like, you couldn't have just put that in with the broadcast. Like, that didn't make sense to me. So that was my first complaint, if there's any. Other than that, I actually didn't have that many complaints except for those two hosts. I wasn't too happy with them. Idris Elba hosted the actual show. And then he I guess I'd say he kind of hosted, because you know how the SAG Awards go, kind of like everyone has a little bit. It's like kind of self-contained, but you do have someone that kind of hosts the show. So he was the kind of host. And because they have the thing where everyone would come in, they talk and tell a little story and say, my name is so and so and I'm an actor. So they had that, but no commercials, which I'm cool with, and there's no censorship, so they were actually cursing. They didn't curse a lot,
Oh boy.
but they knew that the cursing was not gonna get bleeped out because it was Netflix. So a couple of them was like, a couple of F-bombs was dropped.
Yeah, I heard a lot of F-bombs was dropped. I was like, wow.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you.
And
I'm gonna tell you this much.
if people was
No,
getting lit, boy, there was a couple people drunk. Pedro Pascal, he was lit. Boy. He was
I'm gonna
lit
say.
up.
I'm gonna say this, and this just on a side note. I'm looking at the Mia Coppola thing. The Kaya probably with Mia Coppola with Kelly Rowland as a defense attorney.
Mia Culpa, yeah. Mia Culpa.
Yo, Kelly
Yeah,
Rowland.
that's something that we're talking about too. Yeah, that's part of one of the topics. It's two. The topics of those is the two films that people have been talking about the last few weeks and last few days. Controversial, so to speak. Really, with the Mia Culpa, there's some people just talking about the sex scene that she had. She had a pretty explicit sex scene.
She
I won't
naked?
say graphic.
She
Yeah,
naked?
sort of.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was.
okay.
It's I say
Okay.
sorta because she's naked but covered in paint. You know what I mean? Type of deal. And she's covered by that dude tearing her up, but that's a whole other story. So
Kelly Rowland. Ooh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man.
Kelly did a thing, man. It's funny because um I saw her and Tyler Perry on the Kelly Clarkson show, and big up to Kelly Clarkson. You know why? Because she
Mm-hmm.
didn't make the same mistake that a lot of other people was making and start asking Kelly Rowland about Beyonce and everything. This the
Exactly.
whole this has nothing to do with Beyonce whatsoever. This is Kelly Rowland's thing, and Tyler Perry was on with her, and he actually I didn't realize that she's a co-producer on the film. She helped produce. He offered to her produce with him because when he wrote the film, he ran into her at some event and basically said, that's Mia. And he went up to her and said, hey, you're Mia. I want you to be Mia. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? And he gave her the script, and shout out, what up, cuz? He gave her the script and she read it, and at first she turned it down because she was like, whoa, this is kind of heavy. A lot of stuff, it's pretty intense going on here. And so then he talked to her and he said, hey, listen, we can make this work. He said, why don't you produce it with me? Why don't you help me produce it? So that way you have more power, you have more, things like that. So we can kind of, we still get it done.
And
So
navigate the particulars that you don't feel comfortable with doing.
exactly. So that made her, obviously feel better about it. And still in all, one thing I'll say, good for her. She decided, if I'm gonna take it on, I'm gonna take it on. So that's what she did. She took it on, and she also pointed out, because most people may or may not know Kelly Rowland is married, and she was like, hey, my husband, who's a big supporter of my career, said, yo, do what you got to do, get it done, get her done. So she went out there and got her done. That's for
Man.
sure.
Broke
And
my
not
heart when I heard
Netflix
she was
show.
married.
she was a
Broke my
one.
heart when I heard she was married. Like,
I know, me
Yeah.
too.
Number one, she was a number one on the call sheet, which that intimidated her. She admitted, because she'd never been a number one on a call sheet. And for people could probably figure out what that means. That means you're the lead of the film. And so that was one thing that was intimidating. And then of course the explicit sex scene that it calls for. Now, before I get into the other stuff, I want to take a moment and say, first of all, Kelly Rowland, you just showed your professionalism and how you are going to be able to go further in the business. It has nothing to do with just doing sex scenes, but it's about being professional, because the script called for what it called for. It is a erotic thriller, psychological erotic thriller. And if the script calls for something, instead of saying yes and try to completely change the script, you pretty much accepted what it is and went all in, full speed ahead, 100, even with the blessing of your significant other. Like, yo, if you're gonna do it, go in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she did. And not only that, she actually did a good job leading the film as the lead character. Now, the critics got their things that of course they're gonna have their, whatever. Some critics killed it. Some people said they liked it. Some people said they loved it. Some people said they hated it. So, and that's just with any movie, right? Me personally, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I didn't think it was great. Like, wasn't I didn't like it wasn't nothing to write home about. It's the same story that's been done 100 times over, with the these type of films. So it's just a matter of, okay, how's it going to be done this way? When these type of films come up now, and they've all won the femme fatale and this and that, and like those type of films, like the Basic Instincts of the World, whatever, Obsessed, whatever. I just look at how it's shot, how it's lit, how it's like. These are the type of things I look at for those films to see if there's any difference. Like, oh, that was pretty cool what he did there. And I'll have to say the sex scene, the talked about sex scene with her and the gentleman who is the lead guy, Trevante Rhodes. And you may know him, remember him from Moonlight. So Trevante Rhodes is the lead, and her sex scene with him, it was a little different, a little artistic with it. I've seen it before too, kind of what they did, but rest assured, Kelly definitely went in. She bared all, and she went in and did it. You know what I mean? And not just that, not just bared all. Like I said, I'm sure Tyler gave her the opportunity to say, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. It's nudity. It's not like implied nudity. The nudity's there, but it's also artistically done and covered up and tasteful, but still steamy. I don't use the word graphic. It's not graphic. It's just steamy. He's going in on her a little bit. So hey, I don't have a problem with it. We got some people who was in it. A couple of people that I know that was in this, and hey, man, Tyler Perry. It's just what he does, right? So the other side of that coin, we'll get back to that too, is the film Miller's Girl, which is Jenna Ortega's latest film, starring obviously Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman's been in a lot of films. He was in Black Panther. He played the only white guy in Black Panther, really. Other than Claw. So he plays a professor, and she is a student, like a college student or I don't know if it's high school or college. She's basically like this 18-year-old rich kid who takes this class, and it's basically about, the film is about student and teacher relationship or an affair, but the plot basically shows that Jenna Ortega's character decides, okay, she's trying to get into college because this is like a high school course, but I don't know if she's actually in high school, but she takes this course at a school, and she's trying to get into college. She has to write an acceptance essay in college. An essay in college, and the entrance essay has to chronicle her greatest achievement thus far. Well, she's privileged. She's rich. She doesn't have anything to talk about. In her mind, she doesn't have a greatest achievement. So her and her little friend decide they're going to, cook up this little plot to seduce the teacher. So she decides she's going to seduce Martin Freeman's character and, kind of see where that goes. So it's one of those type of films. Kind of like a Poison Ivy type of film, but not as crazy as that. This is more like, or like a kind of like a, what's that called, a Cruel Intentions type of vibe. Like that's the type of vibe I got from it. Like a Cruel Intentions meets Poison Ivy, stuff like that. And basically there's some scenes in the film where Jenna Ortega obviously has some intimate type scenes, and I say type scenes because they're not real intimate scenes with this guy, So that's where all of course, the outrage, the fake selective outrage is coming from now. From surprisingly, but not surprisingly, uh, a lot of this generation and these generation writers, the Gen Z generation writers that's out there, and some of the young millennials, write about, oh, this is creepy and blah 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 blah. Like, it's a story you're telling. What the hell? Yeah, that's number one. Number two, all of the scenes were provocative, a little sexy, if you will, or or not really. It wasn't erotic, but there's no sex scene in the movie. Honestly, not really. Um, it's a lot of psychological stuff, you know, uh, sexy looks and talking and up close and almost kissing and almost this and almost that. And there's like one or two scenes where there's actually one scene in the entire movie where she kisses him in the rain. It's raining. She comes and kisses him. And when I say that kiss couldn't have lasted a second on screen. Like, the moment her lips touched his, it cut to black. Right? So it wasn't even like some passionate kiss that they shared. I mean, it to me, it was no big deal. Uh, the actual story of it all, I'm like, okay, cool. This is a story you want to tell. And people acting all crazy like this doesn't happen in real life. It does. Maybe not the intentional part of it, but that probably does too. But this type of thing happens. And then, like I said, once again, it's just a story that they're telling. So no big deal. There's a scene where he's not actually doing it. There's a scene where he's imagining, I believe, because she's writing stuff. She basically takes on the writing assignment that he gives her, and she writes this very like erotic story in the style of her favorite author. I forget the guy's name. I think ironically the author's last name is Miller too, just like the main character. And but he's like an erotic style writer, and she wrote it in this erotic style to give to him, basically chronicling an affair between him and her. She gives it to him, and he's imagining whatever, doing things where it's like one scene where I'll even show, let me see if I can bring this screen up here. So this is the share screen. Obviously, it's the Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman there. And here's some shots from it. So this is a scene here where he's behind her. He's imagining this scene. Now, obviously, from this still photo, you might think they're having sex, but they're not. They're actually not having sex, not even in the show, not even in the movie. It's just he imagines a scene where he kind of like bends her over and she's like reading some book or something like that. Here's some stuff. That's her best friend that when they came up with the idea to seduce this guy. I think the friend is also trying to seduce a teacher or something like that. And like I said, it's a lot of these moments where they're spending time together. Started off with him, they common interests, literature, blah blah blah, poetry, blah blah blah, and they just spend time and they get interested or whatever. So it's just a lot of these type of looks, these little F me eyes looks, I'm saying, that she's giving them, and that's it. So there's the shot that I'm talking about where he bends her over. She's got a book. I think that's his book in her hand. But he is imagining this. This is not actually happening in the show or in the movie. And this is as far as it goes. You don't see him. There's no penetration. There's no gyration. There's nothing. There's no actual sex happening here. this is the scene from, as you can see there, she's barely touching his lips right there. And when their lips does actually touch, the screen cuts to black. So, like I said, it was, this was directed by a female, by the way. So for everyone who talks about it being old man creepy stuff, it's like, this is the director of this. Her name, she's a new director too. What is her name? Let me find it again. I just had that up here. New director, Jade Haley Bartlett is her name. She doesn't have anything else listed here. This is her, according to IMDb, this is her directorial debut. This particular, she was a producer and she was a writer. So she wrote the film, or at least one of the writers of the film. Yeah, she's the writer. She's listed as the only writer. She's the writer and the director of the film. So she wanted to, obviously, it's supposed to come across as like an erotic type of, thriller, drama type of deal. So of course they're gonna have some intimate scenes, but I mean, this isn't like, Angel Heart, like when Mickey Rourke was tearing Lisa Bonet up, and Lisa Bonet wasn't even supposed to be. I don't know what she's supposed to be, how old she's supposed to be in that movie, but it's just they didn't have no real sex scene. These two. This is about as close as it gets. Like I said, with the other scene there, and that's pretty much it. So my point is, now to the so-called fake selective outrage, or people that's killing the movies and it was sleazy, it was creepy, and it was this, it was that. Most of the time that's the Gen Z generation that comes across saying that, and it cracks me up when they say like that, because I've had film, I've done film projects where I had a couple of Gen Z PAs on set, and I hear their conversations, and it's pretty funny to me, because first of all, they act so appalled about stuff like this where nothing actually happens, and plus it's all simulated anyway, and they didn't even actually have simulated sex. But I guess the most graphic part of the movie is when he's just that picture I showed. He was imagining her and him in the bedroom, and he's reading her erotic story, and he starts masturbating. That's probably the most, I guess, erotic part of it, or sexual part of it. But he's by himself when he does that. So, but it's funny how I hear certain things with you look at Euphoria, which is an awesome show, which is more of a Gen Z. It's kind of directed at Gen Z, millennials, stuff like that. And I mean, that show is relentless when it comes to the sex and the everything that goes on in there. Obviously the drug use, but the sex, it's fair to say the sex is just as heavy as the drug use in the film, because really you only really see the drug use with 1 to 2 characters. That's Zendaya's character, who's the main character, and a couple of her friends that she do drugs with. But other than that, when you see the other characters in that show, they're having some sort of sex for the most part. Good show, has great story, great writing, all other stuff. I brought that up to say, why is this so crazy when you watching shows like that and you got nothing to say? I mean, let's keep it a buck here. What was that, season 1 of Euphoria, where you had a man in his 50s, one of the parents basically rape the second main character of the show, Jules. You know, of course, the critics have something to say about that, but I don't get the, that's still such a beloved show. Same reason why everyone was going so crazy over The Idol. They were saying, "Oh, these sex scenes in this show is so graphic, and it's so this and it's so that." But it's no worse than it's the same guy who does Euphoria. That stuff was no worse than what happens in Euphoria. But yet, it's wild, it's creepy, it's this. It's just weird to me, And I hear these conversations with the Gen Z what is it? PAs, who's like, "Oh yeah, they got all this stuff to say." And it's like I hear their conversations and they're talking about, sharing partners and a man who's also into men and this, that, and the other, and they're okay with that. And I'm like, so all that is you normalize, but this is wrong, creepy, whatever. I don't know. It's just it's weird to me. But I think the movie, once again, kind of like the Tyler Perry movie, to me, it was okay. It wasn't super great. It wasn't bad. I think Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman hit their marks, what they're supposed to be doing. Jenna is very seductive in the movie, as she's supposed to be. She seduced because her goal is to seduce the main character, right? So that's what she does. I don't see a big deal about it. People just be going off for on a tangent for no reason. So it is what it is. I don't know if anyone of y'all got a chance to catch it, but it's out now. It's called Miller's Girl. If you get a chance to watch it. Doesn't seem, it wasn't that bad. I don't even say that it's bad. It's just, whatever, Then again, I saw Madam Web, so can't nothing be bad at this point. So I don't know. I tortured myself and went to see Madam Web. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. But I did. So, that's bad. And that's pretty much that, man. Yeah. Did you get a chance to see either one of those films, Ralph? Don't hear you in a minute. Ralph, are you there? Yeah, maybe because you ain't talking. All right. Shout out. Oh, hey, I like Madam Web. Tony, I think you're the only person, buddy, that actually liked Madam Web. I don't go by what everybody else thinks. Obviously, I go and I watch the stuff myself, but that movie was really bad, bro. It was done bad. It made no sense. And that's another topic I want to talk about too, which is pretty funny. I found this who was it? Let me see. It was one of the scoopers. It might have been comic books, whatever. CB whatever.com was one of those comics that they had somebody talking about if Marvel could possibly sue Sony because there's in the Marvel Sony deal, right? Some of the logistics behind their contract. One main logistic behind the contract is obviously they have to make a dedicated Spider-Man film every so many years in order to keep the IP. Now they've been kind of saving face with the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movies, Into the Spider-Verse and all other stuff. That's technically a dedicated Spider-Man film, even though it's animated. So that's what's been keeping them, saving face. Then they go off and they make they've been making these side films and really just kind of mentioning Spider-Man subtly in the films. This film might have had the biggest mention of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, I should say, because he supposedly, I don't say supposedly, but I'll say supposedly for a reason. Peter Parker supposedly is born in this film, and the reason why I say supposedly is because they never actually say the name Peter Parker. We know that's who he's supposed to be. They imply it, they lead up to it, but they never actually say, "Hey, I'm gonna name him Peter." So anyway, there's a certain clause also in the contract that's like a what's the word? I forgot the word they use, but it basically means what's the word? But the material of the quality of the material or the integrity, that's what it was, an integrity clause where if they keep making these films that is that's hurting the integrity of the brand, it's possible that Marvel could sue Sony to try to get the brand back. And let's see. Yeah, we kind of did, bruh, a little bit. But if you want to come up and still talk about it, I was gonna get back to it because I'm kind of jumping around topics. And so there's a integrity clause in there. So this was through some leaks of the contract, and you can look up a lot of the details of the contract online. But there is an integrity clause in it that has something to do with and this is pertaining to Peter Parker. There were clauses put in there that basically said you can't change the gender, the gender identity, or the gender, the ethnicity, and something else of Peter Parker. We're not obviously you have Miles Morales who has a different ethnicity. You got Gwen Stacy or Spider Gwen who's a different gender, but Peter Parker is there. So there's certain things in there that they can't do, no matter what. That could change the integrity of the character and thus the integrity of the brand. And if they continue to make these terrible, terrible films that do terrible and literally is hurting the brand, there's a possibility they can exercise the integrity clause and sue Sony for and get the rights back to Spider-Man. I think that's very interesting. Very interesting because this Madam Web film has gotten even worse reviews than Morbius because it is a worse movie than Morbius. It is. Whether you like Morbius, didn't like Morbius, doesn't matter. This movie is a worse movie. The movie didn't hardly make sense. It took it places it did not need to go. It took it places it didn't need to go. And it was just a badly shot movie. The overdubbing for it was horrible. It's like a bad Chinese film. Not even bad. It was like a Chinese overdubbed film. You felt like at some point you could tell the ADR was garbage. And I'm like, what are they doing? They obviously did some reshoots. They went back. They did some ADR, but whoever, I don't know what they did, but it was not good. The ADR was bad. And you're talking about a Spider-Man brand movie. You're talking about Sony. You're talking about a major studio, and your ADR is bad. Like, what's going on here? That's right. What up, Lex? Lex says audio can make or break a project. This is true. Hi, Lex. Lex Calderon in the building. Yo, yes, you're right. She's 100%, 1,000% right. I say this to everybody all the time. Film is made up of three major elements. You can add, if you want to add score, that's fine. Story, light, sound. That is film. If any of the three if all three are bad, you're just done. If any of the three lacks, it's going to hurt the other. Because you can have good acting and a bad story. Good actors are going to still act well. Just like a good story can save some not so great acting. But bad acting can hurt a good story. But I'm just saying, sometimes if it's done properly, because I mean, if they're all bad acting, then you're just done. But if you got one bad apple and then you got a couple of strong actors, you can hide them. You can hide the less strong actor with the strong actors because you got a strong story. But if you have bad light, you have bad sound, you have a bad movie. It's just light and sound are the two elements that should not be noticeable in your film. It's supposed to be nature. It's like second nature. You watching a film, you're not supposed to know that light outside that you thought was the moonlight, was was a light with a blue gel on it. You're not supposed to know that. So but if you do notice that somehow, then the person lighting the film did not do their job. You're not supposed to know that that's a big Kino flow, whatever, light outside shining in to imitate sunlight. You're supposed to think it's sunlight. And if you don't think it's sunlight, the guy did not do his job. Same deal with sound. You're not supposed to think about let's take Predator, the classic movie Predator. They're all in the beginning, they're in a helicopter, right? And the helicopter, we know, makes a lot of sound. But yet you could still hear them talking. Now, if the sound wasn't done right, you wouldn't have heard them talking over the elevator. I mean, over the helicopter. You wouldn't have heard them. And in theory, when you think about it in real life, you probably shouldn't hear them because a helicopter is loud. If you're really riding on a helicopter, you have to yell at each other to hear and they were yelling. Actually, that was part of the script, right? They were yelling at each other, talking loud because they're in a helicopter. But the point is, you never thought about, wow, they're really clear to be in a helicopter. You never thought about it because the sound was done right. So you can't, it has to be second. You can't be. So the sound was done wrong on this major Hollywood studio film. You know what I mean? So, I mean, wow. Yeah, I know, Tony, you enjoyed it. And hey, I'm not saying people could have enjoyed it, but I definitely didn't enjoy it. It was I was this close. Thanks for popping in, Lex. I appreciate you. Thank you. Love you too. And Lex Calderon, everybody. Lex Calderon popped in and said, what's up? You can catch her right now streaming on Tubi in our series Groupie, the Blueprint of a Self-Made Millionaire. Go check it out for free. It's free, people. Check out Groupie on Tubi. Also, check out her lives with Lex. She's or is it lives with Lexi? Right? If you're still in here, Lex, drop in the name. She does a live Instagram live show where she gets guests and she interviews them, has them on, talks different topics. So check her out on Instagram. Yeah, man. Let's see. He said, "Where's Lex?" Yeah, Lex is over on Instagram. Have said, "Where my baby Lex?" Nah, she's over on Instagram. But that's the gist of it, man. These movies, people got a lot of complaining that they were saying, but it's you want to talk about bad. Madam Web was a bad movie, in my opinion. When you start getting to the point where I was this close of, there's only one bad movie that is worse than that to me, because I walked out of it. I've never walked out of a movie in my life. I walked out of Dark Shadows, the Johnny Depp Dark Shadows. I've never walked out a movie in my life, and I did it with Dark Shadows. I actually walked out and I went and watched, what was it, Avengers or something like that. Something that I've seen like 5 times already. I went and watched that. Walked out of it. I almost did that with Madam Web. Almost walked out of it. I was like, this is garbage. But, is what it is. But yeah, these movies, they get these fake outrage, people, got something to say. They had something to say about, the film. So back to the Kelly Rowland thing. I don't know if Hev was gonna jump on. Heaven Hollywood in the building. What up, brother? And tell me what he thought. I think he saw the film, and he could, kind of weigh in on it, see what he said, or what he liked about it, what he didn't like about it. I thought, like I said, I thought the film was decent. I didn't think it was over the top crazy, but it wasn't bad either. I think Kelly Rowland, like, once again, here's a film that the sound was good, the light was good, so I was okay. Yeah, lighting was good, sound was good. Acting was good on Mia's part, with Mia being Kelly Rowland. Her first time really taking on a lead. So big up to her. And like I said, you got your people that's gonna complain about all types of stuff. Oh, leave it to Tyler Perry to have a strong black woman and a man that ain't shit. I heard that. I read that comment somewhere. I heard something else too, and there's gonna be a strong black woman with a man that ain't got a job, or something like that. I'm just like, okay, I don't know if that has to do with anything, but he did actually, like I said, Tyler talked about this film with several people or whatever, and it's one of them films he just wanted to do and get under his belt. He's had similar types of films, and but he wanted to do this one. It's erotic type film. And it's Heaven Hollywood joins us on the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, Heaven.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, fellas? Shout out Council in the building. Shout out to y'all. To whole Real Talk family. What's going on?
Yeah, so we I was just talking about the the film, and I gave a quick review on it. I didn't want to. It's still kind of new, so I'm letting people watch it. I'm not going too crazy onto the plot, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad film, in my opinion. Was it anything to write home about? No, because this topic has been done 100 million times.
By Tyler Perry.
Yeah, by Tyler Perry himself, not just by other people. So, Tyler Perry is going to deliver Tyler Perry material because he has a general following that's loyal, that's going to watch his films. So when he's got something to say and talk about, you talk about a man who has his own playground. He can film his own films right there in his backyard, his own playground.
Yeah.
So you got something to talk about. Hey, I want to do an erotic thriller or whatever. Let me do that. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. He said, I think he said in the interview, he wrote the script in, whatever, a couple of weeks. Bang the script out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my description of the film was it started as a Netflix film, but by the end of it, it was given Tubi.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my it started Netflix. It was like, oh, okay.
And it was on Netflix.
Yeah. He said it started Netflix, but it ended Tubi. Boy, goddamn, Heaven Hollywood is.
Yeah, listen, it started Netflix. I'm like, all right, here. I sat down. It was given Netflix by about an hour in, and especially I would say the last 30 minutes of it, I thought I was watching Tubi. I'll be honest with you. Again, done before. It seems like it's been done before when it's I was predicting what was going to happen like 35 minutes in. I'm like, okay, I already see where this is going.
Yeah.
Even the twist and stuff. Then I had already figured it out. By the time they started twisting, I figured it out already. So that's why it wasn't a shock to me or what have you. Kelly Rowland, like I said, she's not that experienced of an actress. I don't think she did bad. You know what I mean? I don't think she did bad at all.
To be a lead of the film, I think she did pretty good.
Yeah,
she'd better acted than Beyonce already.
Right, already.
Well, she better acted than B in Jason versus Freddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was decent. She was decent.
Wait. I just want to say one thing. Shout out to you, Heaven Hollywood, for putting MFs in their place on your show, the Heaven Hollywood Experience. He told dude, don't come up in here talking crazy, because you will get put the F out. Try me.
Seriously.
Oh, you was live with me?
Boy, I was crying.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm not doing the troll thing in 2024, man.
Well, yeah, I tell you,
not doing the troll thing.
Whenever I jump in on those lives, especially on the YouTube, so people can't really tell when we're both logged on, and I see.
Oh, you the sniper? You be sniping people?
Oh yeah, I snipe them, boy. Oh Lord, yeah. Long lens, long scope, silencer. Bong, bong.
Yeah, I was letting them rock in 2023. That's what I was going to ask you, Kev. I was like, Kev, don't watch my videos no more because you hadn't made any comments lately. So I was like, maybe Kev.
I still watch. I be watching either when I'm at dialysis or I watch while I'm working in the room. I have you playing while I'm working. So I don't get a chance to comment because I be doing work while I'm watching.
Yeah.
But you had me crying. I was like, yo, he flexing on this dude for real.
Yeah, man, I'm not dealing with these trolls in 2024. But the whole thing with again, the Mia Culpa movie, it's not trash. It's not great. I guess you can watch. I didn't tell people. So would you say that it's a waste? No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it's a waste of an
Yeah.
hour and a half,
I'm never
whatever.
gonna. Yeah.
A
I'm
lot,
never
a
gonna
lot of
tell
people try
people
to
to
say
not
that.
watch it.
I give Tyler Perry, enough respect that, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that movie's garbage. Like, it was okay. It was okay, and it had its moments where I think it could have went somewhere else and would have been 10 times better. Like where in the beginning where I thought they were gonna take it. And then after about 35 minutes, I'm like, okay, it's going down the same route as the other Tyler psychological, what's the name of the movie that Taraji was in?
The
And then you
one
got, what's it
with
called? Like,
Idris Elba or
yeah,
whatever.
was
Which
that,
one
yeah,
had
yeah.
Idris Elba?
No, not the one. It was the one when she was with her husband, the shoe guy. So I think her
Yeah,
husband was like a shoe salesman or something like that. And
Yeah.
he got money, and then
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Don't reform Marie or it was like one long word for like adultery or whatever like that. And then he had
it's a divorce. It's a divorce term.
yeah. That's it, a divorce.
Agra, whatever. Yeah.
And then they had
Agrimony or something like that.
acrimony, and then you
Acrimony. Yep,
had
that's what it is. Yeah.
obsession. You know what I mean? Like they're
Obsession
all
was pretty.
Yeah,
I liked
yeah,
Obsession. Obsession was pretty good. But
right.
the one show that kind of sounds like it lines up with the Tubi part of what you're saying is he got a show called Ruthless. It's a TV series called
Really?
Ruthless. It's about
Yeah.
it's about this cult of I don't know, it's like a sex cult or something like that. And it's an all black cast. It's the acting is corny. The way the cameras that he used, I think he should have used different cameras because it just has this. It's a movie shot like a TV show,
Yeah.
and it's weird. Like
Okay.
it doesn't have the effect that it's supposed to have. If they would have shot it like a movie, it would have had a more dramatic effect. It doesn't have the dramatic effect, and the acting is not that great. So I think
Damn.
Tyler Perry needs to stop. He needs to go into his bag and start paying for better actors.
The
to be
Tyler
on
Perry
set.
need to stop Tyler Perrying.
Yeah. Tyler,
that
hire
too.
some writers, Tyler. It's time for you to hire some writers now.
Yeah.
It's time to get your little writing team. Tyler Perry thing might
Start
be going a
accepting
little
more,
thin.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So start hiring
Start
you some
accepting
writers, man.
more, yeah,
No,
some more
I'm gonna be
ideas,
honest. What
get a
Tyler
writer's
needs to
room.
stop doing. Tyler needs to stop writing from a woman's perspective. He just needs to write because he's so hell bent on, like, we get the point already. All right, you were raised by strong black women and a strong black woman, and your father wasn't shit. Listen, I get it. My father was great. That's why I can't. I can't. My
Right.
dad had his moments, but if my dad had his moments, it's because of some bullshit I did. I'm gonna be honest.
Admitting it.
Yeah,
But
you know what I'm saying?
that's
but
what
he
people
really
saying.
needs-
You could count on Tyler Perry having a strong black woman lead and a man with no job who ain't shit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's that's see, and that's the downside of Tyler Perry, that he puts us in that box. I mean, he's tried on several occasions where he's presented black men, as having jobs, having good jobs and careers. Even had himself as as a lawyer or whatever he may come across as. But his main, he needs to change. His narrative needs to change. It's time to pivot. This is not the 90s or the early 2000s where we're as black people, we're in that space of what we were in. We're in a different space now. And it goes back to what Wes was saying earlier about transforming and evolving with the culture. He's not he's an older dude, and because his audience is really an older audience now, because back then his audience was an older audience plus the generation that was coming up, which was us. Now we're in our 50s and late 40s, and then the other people either dying off or in a nursing home at best.
Yeah.
And it's time to start evolving, because Tyler Perry ain't dying no time soon. He's going to be around when his kid is around. So he needs to start.
Hey, let's not.
What?
I don't know,
Let's
man.
not what.
I mean, I like his movies, but sometimes they're very predictable. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I think Tyler Perry's a good director, but sometimes I'd be like, come on, man, they all got the same type of feel to them. Like, loosen
But
up a
that's
little
what.
bit.
But that's what I'm saying. He needs to evolve. He
It's
doesn't.
not.
He doesn't know how to get out of
Evolving.
his box, and somebody really needs to get in his ear that he's going to listen to. Because unfortunately, Tyler Perry is headstrong. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
he he got a vision, and he's in the mode of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the problem is
Right.
he can't see the broken parts of what's wrong with what he did. It worked as stage shows. And that's the other thing too. He should be pulling these actors from his stage shows because they're seasoned, they're green, like Tamla Mann and her husband. That show Meet the
Yeah,
Browns,
but
it
they
worked.
can't do everything though. You
No,
know what
no,
I
no,
mean?
no,
Like
no, no,
you
no,
can't put
no.
them in a film like
No,
this.
no,
You
no,
know.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying because they wouldn't even do it. They wouldn't even do that.
Right.
So that's
No.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they need to start like how they're seasoned because they did a lot of stage work. He needs to be pulling from actors that have that stage presence that still translate well on screen. The fortunate part about Tamala Mann and her husband is they actually translated well to screen for television. So
Yeah.
so it worked. And Tamala Mann also she translates well to the big screen as well because she's that's a pretty old lady. I ain't gonna lie. And she can sing her butt off, as well as act. And I think he should
Yeah.
be pulling from pool of actors. He should be pulling from a better pool of actors. That's basically what I'm saying. He's grabbing the actors that I think probably works best for his budget instead of working from actors that work best to make the translate the stories that he's trying to tell. Because the thing that worked
Yeah.
with the other stories that he was trying to tell is he had great actors doing it. He had A-list black actors telling his stories.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah,
stories worked better.
well, right. He would bring those movies, even the ones that came from stage that he made into movies, and he had, A-list talent working on them, Janet Jackson and all these different people, in his movies. And now, granted, I don't mind you giving opportunity to people, to upcoming actors. That's
Exactly. Nothing
fine.
wrong with giving work, but
Nothing more with giving them work and giving them opportunity. But also, like I said before, three major elements of film: light, sound, and story. If the story isn't strong, it's gonna hurt the film. If any one of those three major elements are not strong, film's hurt. So now the light and sound was fine in this film, but the story definitely took a step back. It hurt the film. The acting wasn't even bad. That dude, Devonte or Trevante Rhodes, he's a good actor. I mean, this character didn't have a lot of depth to him. Not to me at least.
and that's the other problem. His
Yeah,
characters don't have
don't have a
any
lot of
depth to
depth
them.
to him. Yeah,
But
you
it's
know.
either that or the actors are not really digging into it, and it could be, and again, it could be Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry is very straight to the point when he's directed. If you ever watch any of his behind the scenes stuff and you listen to how he talks to people, he's very simple. He doesn't
Yeah,
like to do complicated things. He
yeah,
wants things to be simple for the viewer. And I think sometimes the character takes a loss when you do that because sometimes there's nothing wrong with a complicated character that you have to make people think like, well, what's wrong? Like Al Pacino's character in Heat. Like a
right.
lot of people didn't realize it, but he was a cokehead. That's why he was so
Yeah,
high strung. But they never
yeah.
showed it in the movie.
Wait
And
a
you
minute,
don't,
he was? Was that in the
yeah,
book?
yeah. In the book, he sniffs a lot of coke. So
Yeah.
that explains why he's so high strung and so bing 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 bing. He's always go 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 like he's on cocaine, like he's on coffee. I
Yeah,
thought it was I thought it was just the drive. It's also the drive for the job. But the other thing about the background about his character, if you
yeah.
didn't, I picked up on it on screen,
And
but
and
then the
and
book
Al knew it.
confirmed it.
Yeah, right. I guess they decided not to show that on in the film, but obviously he knew the backstory of the character, which is why
Character,
he
right?
was the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's it was the actors that they had, like I said, that dude Trevon, what's his name, Trevante Rhodes, been in some decent films, man. He was in Moonlight, he was in Bird Box. I remember him in that.
That's my
A
favorite.
couple
I
other
love that
joints,
movie.
yeah. Couple other joints he was in. So he's pretty strong actor. Like I said, just the character though. The character was not. To me, it wasn't a depth. It didn't have a lot of depth to the character. It's different when you try to take a character and try to make them, like you force it. You try to force that character to be like a deep character when they really don't have much depth to them at all. And that's on Tyler. That's on Mr. Perry. You know what I mean? You got to flesh out your characters and get in more depth so the actor has something to work with. So you can't just expect the actor to create depth to a character. You mentioned Al Pacino. Al Pacino, by one, as great as of an actor as he likes and needs to be directed.
Directed,
He
yeah.
does it, whereas Jack Nicholson's like, get out of my way, let me do my thing. Al Pacino is like, what's my motivation? Like, what do you want me to do? Director, of course he can improv. Of course he can do his own thing, and he will. But he wants to make sure he is pleasing. The director is pleased with his work.
Well, no, and not just the director being pleased with his work, but the vision of what the story is supposed to be. He wants to make sure he's doing the correct translation of what
and he's
is supposed to be happening.
bringing that story there. So you gotta remember, Al Pacino is also a theater actor background. He loves that stuff. When he's not acting and he's not making movies, he's doing freaking, Shakespeare. Yeah, he's doing that type of stuff. He used to do it all the time. So that's the one thing that people seem to forget, because Tyler Perry characters kind of all seem like they're all related. Like, it all seems like
they're all interchangeable.
Yeah,
I hate
right.
to say that, but they're all interchangeable.
They're
The
all
same
interchangeable.
people on Meet the Browns, the same people on House of Pain,
House of
same
Pain.
one that's in Medea's Halloween. They're all the same.
That was hilarious, though.
It was.
I gotta say
was funny.
that was
I was
funny.
surprised how much I liked Boo Medea Halloween. I was stunned. But however, the characters all seem to be. I take one out of here, but yeah, like I still think the best stuff Tyler Perry did is still for Color Girls, because it's something that he didn't actually write. It was someone else's work, but he
had the movie that he did with Kathy Bates, and
that was good too. That was really good too. That took him way out his comfort zone, but
yeah.
I think Color People was the best thing that he actually did. That he that where he's not actually in it at all. But the three, those two, and I'm going to throw Daddy's Little Girls in there.
Yeah, I like
was good.
Daddy's Little Girls. That was good.
They were very good. But but in like those three movies, you can't take the characters out of those and stick on something else, because they're quite different. But all the other stuff in Tyler Perry's universe, so to speak, it all seem the same. The Oval.
And well, you know what? And you got to add one more, Ralph. I think one more you could add is Why Did I Get Married? That was very good, because it was very personal, and it was very specific, because it was speaking to married couples. So that was something that I think across the board that was very it was a very broad sword that I thought it worked well the way they did it and the way the characters interacted with each other. And I'm just a huge fan of Jill Scott. I think she's a very, very, very good actress.
Very underrated. Very underrated.
Very underrated. And she translate that I don't know what it is about her. Well, I could tell in real life she crazy, and as fine as she is, I would never date her because she's just crazy. Um, but she translates that anger and that 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 hurt of a situation very well. Like even the that movie about the poets, she she just being that college teacher of the poetry class, she was really man, she just acts so well, and that's she's one of the ones that's really not interchangeable. But if he took her and put her in one of those other roles, it would change the dynamic of the film. And
Yeah,
also, again, like
I'm gonna go with her and Tasha,
Tasha Smith.
Tasha Smith, the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you take the two of them out of anything and put them
Yeah, because
something
he's put her in multiple stuff, and she's
Yeah.
played different characters.
Yeah, like
she's played different characters that are not interchangeable or the same type of character. She's played very different characters.
Yeah, I think the two of them that have worked with Tyler Perry, they just bring a different type of energy to what the work is, and it's on another whole level. They give it some real depth. Whereas, no disrespect to Tamala Man, I mean, yes, all I mean, like this when we hear this, I could have saw that very easily with I haven't seen it yet, but I could very easily picture that being with Demetria McKinney very easily, or even
Tamika Sumter.
Tamika Sumter, or now I want to say I still keep calling her Rudy.
Oh,
no, but her too.
Yeah, I don't know her name either. Keisha Knight.
Keisha Knight.
I could very easily see it with any of those three of them in the same role, and it might be the exact same thing. Whereas Kelly Rowland, while she's new, maybe okay, but maybe if the material's a little different, maybe it would have been a different. But I can't say that until I actually see the movie. I'm gonna have to watch that this week though.
Yeah, like I said, it's nothing to write home about, but it wasn't trash. You know,
I just want to see her naked. That's it. That's all I care about.
Well, yeah, that's very easy. Just go ahead.
Thanks for messing that up for me. I should have just muted the whole show so I couldn't hear that part.
Why?
That would have been surprising.
Oh, you weren't surprised. Well, like I said,
but I'm glad you did say something because now I can't watch it. I'm glad you did say something because now I can't watch it until later on, until the kids are asleep.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the main topics. Period. Is has this, explicit sex scene in it, and that's the talk of the town right now. Every time she goes on a show, the first thing they're asking her is, "Oh, what about that sex scene?" Oh. It's
but
hot.
you know what? No, but you know what it is, and especially coming from white. I hate using the term Caucasian, but I'm going to say it anyway. Coming from Caucasus Mountain audiences, when it comes to us, we're put in a box. Like we're just put in this box that we're hypersexual and just nasty and just we're even though it's kind of true for some of us. I mean, well, it is what it is. But there are some Caucasians that are hypersexual too. But we're just put across the board that we're all that way, and it's not true. And because that scene probably
with this scene, I think it's more so who the person is. Kelly Rowland, never seen in this light. Never, she's not even, she's a fairly.
She was pointed as the cheerleader. She was the cheerleader, the poster girl of Destiny's Child. Like she was like the good girl.
Well,
she's always been the bad girl. Always been the better looking one in Destiny's Child. I don't care what nobody say. That was she was always the better looking girl in Destiny's Child. Always.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is Destiny's Child. Period. Any of them, Beyonce has. Gotten sexy with her music and her videos and things like that.
Right.
That's pretty much how she's been kind of showing her sexy side. But
up until Motivation,
if it was any one of them, they would have got a lot of attention due to
because of it.
this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, due to this
Yeah.
scene. Because number one, she is the lead. She's the lead of the film. She had to carry the film. And number two, that scene, she's never obviously been in anything like that. And you know, that's what they're gonna talk about. I mean, that's especially the females. They're gonna talk about that. I don't think it was putting us in a not in this case. Not in this case where it's like, oh, I really just because everyone, black and white, were asking her are talking about this scene because Sherry Shepherd, is it Sherry Shepherd? Is she the one who has this talk show? No, who's the is that her name? The girl,
Yeah,
she has
Sherry
her own
Shepherd. It's the
talk show
Sherry
as well.
Shepherd show.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Sherry Shepherd.
same thing. She did the same thing. She literally most of her segment she talked about the hot sex scene. You know, so and like I said, don't get me wrong. When it comes to, I don't want to keep. I'm saying this because this is how it's projected. This is how it is definitely a explicit scene, but it's not graphic. It's not Monsters Ball. You know what I mean? It's something that's it's nice. It's and like I said, you do get to see some nice skin, but at the same time, it's artistically done, so it's not crazy. It's not raunchy, anything like that. But it is to some people could be considered explicit. You know, so people make of it what they will. I think she did a decent job, as the lead, and being able to take on this role, knowing what was ahead, I commend her for that, because these type of roles are not easy to take on. You're gonna get a bunch. It's bad enough she got a field. See, now this is the problem with most of the white people that was interviewing her. They're the ones that go and bring up Beyonce. That has nothing to do with her film, her career, or anything like that. That's the problem with them. People bring up Beyonce, because she's the more globally known, artist of. I mean, Kelly's globally known too because of Destiny Child, but you know what I mean. So, the fact that Kelly Clarkson did not bring up Beyonce whatsoever. She did ask Kelly if she was working on any new music of her own, which Kelly said she is. She's working on new music. She's finally inspired. She said she didn't really have nothing to say up until this point. So there you have it. This is about her. Of course, Sherry, when she's going over the red carpet and she did showing all the pictures, it's a talk show. So she had to, of course, show Jay-Z and Beyonce that came to the premiere. And oh yeah, I saw them, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're at the premiere. And they were, well, that's expected. So, but this is Kelly's thing. She stepped up to the plate and did what she had to do for the role. So I commend her for
I
that.
guess so.
I definitely I commend her for it because she did think about it and she thought about turning it down. She did actually turn it down at first and then decided, okay, I'm gonna do it because she obviously liked the film, she liked the story, and said, you know what, these things are part of story. This is what it is. If there's a sex scene in the movie, people, it's part of the story. If you don't want to do it, then don't take the role. That's a period. Full stop. Don't take.
You got the kick.
Yeah, if you're not going to do the film, don't take the role. So
exactly.
Plain and simple. There's plenty of people that will take it and will do it and not make a big deal about it. So there you go. So the SAG Awards, as we close in on the last 10 minutes of the show, SAG Awards, we'll get back to that. We'll kind of close it up there. Was, like we said, took place on Netflix. They did announce the stunt ensemble honors. It says here, outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture naturally, that went to Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. And outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble in a television series, that went to The Last of Us, the cast of the stunt team of The Last of Us. So congratulations to them. I don't like the fact that they, announced that, you know, before the actual show even started. I thought that was kind of stupid, but because I mean, it's two categories. How much time is it really going to take? They actually moved along pretty well with the timing because there was a couple of people that won awards and they must have gave them extra time than most award shows because they were literally like one dude, I forgot who it was, he was like, oh, wow, they actually give us a lot of time this time, but that's all I got. Okay, bye. He had got all his thank yous out, and then he's looking like, oh man, they gave us a lot of time today. Well, that's all I got. Bye.
Eating your money.
Like, it walks out. So I think that was cool. So Last of Us ensemble. Stunt ensemble, and then we have outstanding performance by a female actor in a television movie limited series. That went to Ali Wong for Beef, which was dope. So Beef
That's
won.
really dope.
Yeah, she won for that. Actually, Steven Yeun won as well for outstanding male actor in a television movie or limited series. He won for Beef.
Hey, Ali Wong, listen, honey, listen. You're a very attractive woman, but you gotta do better on the red carpet. You are getting dogged for your outfits on the red carpet. You gotta step it up. Like you getting put into top 10 all time worst dressed. Like, stop it. Just switch. Vera Wang, Prada, something. But you come in there and look at someone say you look like a I don't know, like a disco ball or something. They are savaging you on your red
They're
carpet
going
fashion.
in,
I don't
huh?
know why, but I mean I know why because they're right. But you gotta step it up.
Ali get the right design and right piece on her, man. She's hot too. So
Yeah, I mean we know some
she
people.
get
We
the
we
right
could we
piece
could
on.
we could hook you up with what's our homegirl down in Atlanta that came to on set that day.
Oh, Karen Blackwell.
There you go. We could hook you up.
Karen,
We know people. We call us.
Karen Blackwell, Karen Keiss collection.
Yeah, we
You
can
know
hook
what I
you up.
mean? Check it out. Check her out. You know, if you watch the pre-show, stuff is featured in there from Playing Dirty. Um, so outstanding performer by a female actor in a comedy series went to Ayo Idabari for The Bear, the show The Bear, which also won pretty. That also swept that category because the male actor in a comedy series went to Jeremy Allen, who's also on The Bear. So those two won. Then you have outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series went to Elizabeth Debicki as Princess Diana in The Crown. Okay. Now I don't watch that show. The wife does. She says it's a great show. Uh, but she loves shows like that. She loves those type of joints. All I know is one thing: that woman looks like Princess Diana in that show.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
yeah,
I
she's
don't
spitting
watch it,
image.
but I look at her. I'm like, wow, she really looks like her. So she won. Outstanding performer by male actor in a drama series. Pedro Pascal won for The Last of Us. Now he was funny. He comes, he was lit. He even said it. I'm a little drunk, but we gonna do this. And he just said what he said. He did his thank yous, and yeah, he was looking a little drunk. So then we have the winner of the outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series. Once again, The Bear won. That's on FX, by the way. The Bear is a show that's on FX. and it beat out Abbott Elementary, which I'm surprised because they've been cleaning house the last few years. It beat out Abbott Elementary. It beat out Barry. It beat out Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building, and it beat out Ted Lasso, which was another surprise because they had been winning a lot. Outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. That went to Succession. Not a surprise there. They've been winning big for a long time as well. Beating out Last of Us, The Morning Show, Barry, and I'm sorry, not Barry. Beat out The Morning Show, and The Last of Us, and Gilded Age, and something else, and The Crown. So go with them. So we go to outstanding performer by a female actor in a supporting role. That went to Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. So she was in that. She beat out Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer. She beat out Daniel Brooks, Sophia in The Color Purple. She beat out Penelope Cruz in Ferrari. She beat out Jodie Foster in Nyad. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Then we have outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. She won, beating out Carey Mulligan for Maestro, Margot Robbie for Barbie, Emma Stone for Poor Things, and Annette Bening in Nyad. Okay.
And as she should have, because that woman did her thing. Even though I think she's a mixed breed, she's not. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. But she did. Her performance was spectacular, and that movie was really good. Actually,
yeah,
it was a lot better than I thought it was going. I thought it was going to be a typical Martin Scorsese, drawn out snooze fest of dialogue.
Yo, that's what I was just thinking he was going to say. Snooze fest.
Snooze fest. Oh man. Yo,
but it was actually really good.
That was the word that popped in my head before you said it. You're gonna say snooze fest, and that's
you just killed Marty, man. If
yeah,
I'm running Marty out there in Cali, because I'm finally making my step. I'm going out to California, March 6th, like about 8 days from now, 9 days from now, whatever.
Nice.
I'll be out there for Oscar weekend. And
are you going to the show?
Nah, I'm not going to the show. I ain't got the money to go to that show. Keep it 100.
Agent can hook you up with some tickets to the show.
Man, you don't just hook people up with tickets to that show. You know how much tickets cost to that show?
I have no idea.
Also security, the security clearance,
thousands of dollars, dollars.
It's thousands of dollars to get a ticket.
$15,000 for a ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, they're very
because all of that money goes back to the Academy of Motion Pictures.
That's their fundraiser, right?
Yeah,
that's their fundraiser. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that's why those tickets, because basically all the celebrities and people that go, executives, they go because it's a write-off. They can write that off. You see what I'm saying? Because the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences or whatever is technically a nonprofit organization. So when they put on a show like the Oscars, that is considered a quote unquote fundraiser. So your ticket can be
it's a telethon. It's technically a telethon without the telephone.
So you can write your ticket off with no problem. But you gotta have the money first to buy it. So nah. But I'm gonna attend some pre and post events and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. Shout out to our manager out there. You know what I'm saying? Scott, what up? And So we're gonna check that out, and we, shout out to Romaine and the International Dynasty. I'll be linking up with them. Some of the some of the guests that we've had on our show, the young ladies, the artists that's came on our show through Romaine, they're all pretty much out there. So I'll probably be, at some point I'll see them, because I'm gonna stay out there for a good maybe week to 10, maybe 10 days. I don't really have a timeline. Like when I go out there, I got somewhere to stay, so I don't really have a timeline of how
You
long.
sound like you're gonna end up being like some of the other people that go to LA. Oh, just out here for 10 days, and 15 years later, I'm still out here.
Nah.
I don't know how I'm getting back home.
I couldn't live out there. Nah, I couldn't live out there.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
people that,
Believe me,
yeah,
believe me, you could. Believe me.
Nah, I
You
couldn't
Yeah,
live out
Wes.
there.
I
No,
listen.
I couldn't.
I've been watching
No, I
a lot
couldn't.
of movies. I've been watching a lot of movies that are LA centered, and bro, I gotta
Couldn't live
tell
out
you,
there.
I could live in LA, like Laguna Hills, even
Because
the Valley. Like there's a
even
lot of
people
places.
that I'm talking to, because see, even people that I know, including my manager, who live out there, who's lived out there for years, there's people that are living out there starting to leave. But I
they,
personally couldn't. Because the homelessness out there is really bad.
yeah, that is
If you don't
bad.
know.
I'm not gonna lie.
Very bad.
That is bad. But the only reason they
It's
want to leave
very
is
bad.
because because I've been thinking about moving out there. The only reason you want to leave is because the price of everything is just ridiculous.
Price is
Ridiculously
ridiculous.
high.
Come on, some
Price is
places
ridiculous high.
some places in LA you still paying $6 for gas. You got
Yeah.
And I
some
don't
places.
understand that. Not to get off topic of the SAG Awards, but I never understood how a state as big as California, but a city as small as Manhattan, your prices for stuff is higher than Manhattan, and I don't
Some
understand that.
places,
Like,
yeah.
especially with the real estate and the taxes that people pay, like I don't understand why stuff is so high.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta remember, when
Specifically
you're dealing
LA.
with California, when it comes to real estate, everything's going to be high. They have
Yeah.
earthquakes there. The freaking insurance alone,
Oh,
man,
I forgot about
is
that. Yeah, earthquake. You gotta have
Yeah.
earthquake insurance. Yeah, I
I
guess.
saw in the
Yeah.
news today
it's a
about this.
risk.
Now I saw today in the news about this guy who, because Malibu was they've been having a lot of rain lately.
Yeah.
The mudslides. His
Slides.
house is
Yeah.
sitting on top of this, basically like the top of a mountain, and the mudslides coming in underneath his property. He is overlooking the ocean. So the people tell him you need to move because of the storms, and eventually your house is going to fall in the ocean. He's like, because it's worth $15 million. He's like, I'm not. He's like 82 years old. He's an ex radiologist. He's like, I'm not moving. But you can clearly see it when they show the outside of the house of why he needs to leave. Because
it's I let me tell you something. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy my time out there, and I'm sure I'll go out there more than often. But I will never live in California for that one reason. For that one reason, I will never live.
You want to stop by Nakatomi Plaza?
Nah, I ain't going out there for all that.
You can't go to LA and not go to Nakatomi Plaza. At least you got to pull into the parking lot.
I ain't going to sightsee. I'm going out there for business. If it ain't productive, I ain't doing it. But
you might want to use it for something. So you got to go check it out.
I mean, no, what I'm saying is,
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should be out there with a camera getting B-roll.
Yeah, for real.
For anything you want to shoot in the future.
That's called, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Permit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No. I'm gonna tell you, this is what you do. You get you one of those camera mounts that you put inside a car, and as you're driving down Rodeo, you're driving up Sunset, you just filming as you're driving around. You ain't got to get a permit for that. You know how many people rolling down the street right
The YouTube people do it all the time.
All the time.
Like I said, I'm going out there for business. I got some meetings and stuff set up. If I get a chance to do any sightseeing, I will, but I'm really not going out there for that. I'm going out there to get this business done, and hopefully I get it done, and I'll be back out there working on something. That's my goal. I'll have time to go out and sightsee. But if how long I stay is gonna be dictated on the production that goes. If I find some work out there, which I very well might, then I'll stay longer, and that'll be that. And then I might get before maybe a day before I leave, I might go check a few things out. But I'm not really, of course you get to that point where you want to see things and all that, but I just want to get this stuff done.
Look. You gotta stop. I know you don't want to say, but you gotta go to a couple places. You gotta stop at least go by Universal. You gotta drive by Universal Studios.
Well, I have a meeting at Universal Studios, so I'll be there.
Okay, well, you gotta go.
I got a meeting at I think at Paramount. Well, I'm gonna be in Studio City. I'm gonna be over there.
Okay, all right.
You gotta see a lot of my stuff is going on. Yeah, so I'll be over there for sure.
So you gotta go to Roscoe's.
Gotta go.
If I make it there,
if you go to Roscoe's, sit down. Don't take it out. Sit down and eat it. It's better if you actually sit there and eat it. Because it seems like they.
Why is it better?
It always seems no. It always seems that you get a better portions and it just tastes better when you actually sit there compared to when you get it to take out. I don't know why. But
head. But that's fine. If I have time, I'll sit there.
Now, even people I know have said this. Like I had said that about. I went to oh man, what's the Chinese place that everybody be going to? And I went there. Mr. Childs,
Mr. Childs, yeah,
right.
Childs.
I had got it in Vegas and I got it to go, and I said it's all right. Now, somebody said, "Yo, Ralph, did you actually sit there and eat it?" I was like, "No." He said, "That's the thing. You got to stay there. It's better when you stay. It seems like they give you more when you stay compared to when you go."
Giving you more. See, it's all presentation. Giving you more doesn't mean it's better. It's just like when you go to Benihana, you sit down there and they present it to you, they flipping everything up, and it's great. Oh yeah, it's great. It tastes better. But if you take that same stuff, and dump it in a to-go box, it's gonna taste the same.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Like I said, I'm going to try to make time for certain things like that, but that's not my priority.
Really. Go to Fat Burger. Gotta go to Fat Burger.
I've already had Fat Burger. I don't need to go there. Yeah, Fat Burger was on the East Coast. I had Fat Burger in Massapequa.
Oh, I never had it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I covered my show covered.
No, I never knew that Fat Burger was in Massapequa.
Uh-huh. It was right over there by where Busy Bee Mall was.
Wow.
What you call it? For Sunrise Highway. Yeah, I covered years ago. Block TV. We covered the opening of the first East Coast Fat Burger. Actually, the first one. I think it's funny you didn't have one, Ralph, because I think there was one in Jersey too. Because I think
Queen Latifah.
I think Queen Latifah is a co-owner or an owner, or was an owner of a Fat Burger.
I ain't never seen a Fat Burger in New Jersey. I never heard of. I kept hearing Fat Burger from Ice Cube. Fat Burger.
Yeah,
I got a Fat Burger.
Nah, but it's Fat Burger. It was right in Massapequa Park. It opened up, and
they must have closed really fast because I don't know. I don't ever remember ever seeing a Fat Burger.
Yeah, it wasn't open very long, but I got the proof. We covered it, and the opening of it of the first Fat Burger. There was a gentleman who franchised it, because he loved it out in California, and I guess he wanted to open one up, so he opened one.
But you know what? There. You know why that failed? Because he opened it up in the wrong place. Because if he had been thinking, he got to remember All American Burger on Merrick Road in Massapequa.
That was the problem. That was the problem. That was his biggest. That was his biggest mistake in competition. All American Burgers, damn near right around the corner, and that is legendary. That is a classic burger place on Long Island.
Like Ralph, imagine going to a burger place, like a classic '60s burger place, and the line is around the block.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I like I mean I'm like when I was in LA a couple weeks ago. I mean Shake Shack is okay, but I'd rather go to Fat Burger. I like In-N-Out Burger. No, I like
Shake Shack got good chicken sandwiches. Their chicken sandwiches are the bomb.
But still, it ain't worth me waiting in a line a block long for. It's just not.
The guy when we covered the Fat Burger, he went through how it, of course it's made a certain way. They all made the same way. You franchise it out. They all have their recipes like any other, restaurant. and he made us a fat burger. We ate out there. It's cool. Ain't nothing to write home about, but it was cool. There's also a fat burger in South Beach. On South Beach, there's a fat burger.
Yo, Wes, you know what I remember? Wes, you know what I remember? I remember when you told me to meet you for lunch at that spot in Merrick. Well, it's the borderline of Freeport and Merrick.
The
one that the place that's right next to the it's right next to the Meadowbrook Parkway.
The Pit.
The Pit. Man, I was mad as hell because I don't know what it was. Wes was like, "Yo, food is good." Got there, Ralph. Man, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was because I was hungry and it wasn't good. I was mad. Boy, I was like,
I like their food there, but what you call it? What was I saying? The fat burger. Yeah, fat burger was cool, man. Oh yeah, there's one in South Beach as well. I think that one's still there too. But once again, that one might have went closed too because the burger place in South Beach is cheeseburger. That's what it's called. Cheeseburger. That is the place. That is the most famous burger place in South Beach. The owner, we covered that one time too. The owner there, she got a whole wall of fame. You know, freaking Jay-Z and Beyonce came through there to get a burger. You know what I mean? Like everybody is on that. She took pictures of all the famous people because that place, number one, they're open all night. They don't open until like 5 o'clock, and they stay open all night. They don't close till like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's number one. Number two, everyone after they out the club, that's where they hit cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? No, it's called. I think it's called Cheeseburger Baby. That's what it was called. Cheeseburger Baby. That's what it's called.
I'm telling you, boy. Once my kidney get right, I'm going on a food tour. There's just too many places.
Baby. I remember she was talking about because their meat is, you know, they cook their burgers cooked to order, you know, like they'll even cook if you want it rare, you know, medium rare, what like they'll cook it to order. Yeah.
Oh man, that's the place to be.
Yeah,
that's like Moo Burger. That's like Moo
only
Burger
because of the type. You're only allowed to do that when you have 100% Angus beef. That's
right?
The only way. If you don't have that with your,
you can't serve it like that.
You cannot serve. You cannot cook to order because there's a chance that they can get sick or something like that. Has to be 100% Angus beef, and then you can cook it however you want to cook it or however they want you to cook it.
Because that's pure steak. That's pure steak meat. That's pure ground steak meat.
Yeah. There's chicks dancing on tables and dances on the counters, and it is a movie up in there, yo. It's like it's a vibe in there. It's crazy.
Wow.
And you just like, yo, you walk in there, it's owned by this chick, you know, this lesbian chick. She's just like so cool, man. And she's like, yo, this is my, you know, I was like, yo, she's just like, I don't know. She's like, you know, everybody just likes coming here, you know. And like, yeah, she got all her little pitch. I mean, everybody comes there after a club or anything at night. Yo, it's crazy. 2-3 o'clock in the morning, that is lined out the door there. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
But they did have a fat burger not far from there, so I won't be surprised if that failed as well, because Cheeseburger Baby is where everyone's going. You know, so but I have tasted fat burgers. I definitely won't be looking for a fat burger. If I'm gonna look for a place, you know, eating place, it'll definitely be Roscoe's. Will be the one that I'll go to. I don't really have too many places that I really want to like, oh, I want to go to, man, you know, Man's Chinese Theater, all that stuff. That's all like last on my list, honestly.
The Walk of Fame,
last on my list, honestly. You know, I'll do that if I ain't got nothing else to do, like the day before I leave. I'll do that.
If you go on the Walk of Fame, I would strongly say to stop by Amoeba Records. If you do get a chance to go
now I'll do. See, something like that, I'll do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll go check that out.
Yeah, that place is
You
awesome.
know,
You could
I'll
stay in there
definitely
all day and still not get to
right.
everything. It is.
I'll definitely go. I'll go to some that I'll put on my list. I might need you to text me the name again just to be, so I have it.
Yeah.
That I'll put on my list. Something else I kind of want to do, which is probably a little corny, but I might shoot over to the since I'm gonna be there for March 9th, I might go check out the location, the unfortunate location where Biggie was shot. Um, I might go over there.
Oh,
Forgot the
Miracle.
yeah,
Miracle
yeah.
Mile.
Well, it's right over there. I know exactly where it is. I can't think of the name of the street right now, but it's right in front of that museum, whatever that is. That museum, the same place that they had the party, that they had their party
Yeah.
for the album release party. It's some sort of museum. It's a car
It's
though.
a car museum.
Yeah, it's a car museum. Yeah. So over there.
I think it's Mercedes Benz or something like that.
It might be. Yeah. It's I can't. I have it written down, but I might go check that out. But other than that, I'm really there for business and just want to get out there and try to, make as many connections as possible, and then I'll make my way back. So outstanding male actor was that was Robert Downey Jr. Then you got Lily Gladstone, and then outstanding male actor for a leading role went to Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, of course, and also Oppenheimer won for ensemble performance in a film. So there you have it. That was pretty much the gist of it. All of them, they beat out, of course, American Fiction, which I heard was a good film. Barbie, Color Purple, and Killers of the Flower Moon. Those are the people that it beat out. And there you have it. So Emily Blunt is just so fine, man. Every time she gets finer and finer, bro. I see her out there doing interviews for Oppenheimer and doing they had a nice little The Devil Wears Prada reunion out there on one of the presentations.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty cool. Where that Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt standing out there. That was cool. They all were looking phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Including Meryl. Meryl still looked good, man. She still doing her thing, So they all, but Emily Blunt right now, she killing it. She's just killing it right now. So that was cool. But that was it, man. I'm gonna wrap it up by saying I kind of I want to see something else done on one of the streamers. I want to see how because I really did. I don't like commercials no more. Unless I'm watching the Super Bowl, I don't care for commercials. So I'm okay for that reason alone. I'm okay with them putting it on a streamer if it's not going to be any commercials or very limited commercials. And the limited commercials become annoying because they start showing the same exact commercial over and over again. So I just rather just go with no commercials. All they need to do is make sure your in between moments are a little smoother. This was their first time, and you got to get some better interviewers. Those interviewers were just not it. I'm sorry, dude was a little too excited, too chummy, buddy with people that he's not really buddy with. But he probably knows them from interviewing them, stuff like that. A little too much, a little unprofessional.
Fanboying it? Was he fanboying it?
Well, he was as well. Yeah, that as well. But that wasn't my issue. My issue was just he was too chummy with trying to hug people, man. You interviewing them. Relax. If they hug you, they reach out to give you a little hug, to give you a pound, a hug, whatever, then that's fine. But yo, maintain your professionalism.
Yeah, you ain't Ryan
what I mean?
Seacrest. Cut it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even Ryan Seacrest, though, I don't be seeing Ryan Seacrest hugging people. You know what I'm saying? Like, not really. Maybe if someone's standing next to him, co-host, whatever, but he's professional. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do all of that off camera. And like I said, you're too busy trying to. So then you hugging. Oh, how you doing? You hugging them. Now your microphone is. You hear all of that, and they hugging it. I'm like, what the hell, man? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh yeah, thank you for coming. Oh yeah, that's just what you hear. All right, like yo, wait, what happened? Where'd he go? He pulled the mic away from him. So you hear, he's up on it, then he's all the way back here. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like, and just like, bruh, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, do your job. And then they're like sitting there asking, there was some other people there that was interviewed Brie Larson. It wasn't them either. Two other people interviewed Brie Larson. They might have been for a different outlet, but they were sitting there like some awkward. There was a couple of awkward silences there, and it's like, yo, ask the woman what you want to ask her. And then they fight. Oh, I just want to ask you about Marvel. She asked about that girl asked about Marvel, and she just blew the question up. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about that. So it was just like, oh, I just want to ask you about Marvel. If you got anything coming up with that, you got anything? She was like, no, I have nothing to say about that.
I don't know why they ask people about Marvel. They're not going to say nothing.
Yeah, she's not gonna say nothing anyway. And she ain't got nothing set up. So that is just, and on top of that, the fact that she has nothing set up for Marvel right now. She just did a Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying?
And bombed.
So she doesn't know the future of her character. And she gets so much grief anyway. Even if she did have a future, she may or may not even want to come back. She catches so much flack for playing the character. So, she just did another film or show or whatever. And they were asking about that. Like, one thing that they get a little upset, and I know you want to ask it, but that's just like saying, asking what's his face? Tony Stark. Hey, so any other Marvel stuff? Are you coming back for Marvel stuff? Man, bro, I'm in Oppenheimer. Ask me about that. So yeah, it was just little too much. But anyhow, that's pretty much my story with all of that. I think everybody, Madam Web, I don't usually detract movies, but all I'm gonna tell you is how I felt when I watched it. I felt like shooting the screen. That's what I felt like doing.
Wow.
I felt like beating the crap out of the person who sold me that ticket. Take it out on them. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why did you let me go into this theater? Nah, but it was pretty bad though. And like I said, I've only walked out of one movie, Johnny Depp movie. That was the Dark Shadows. This one had me. I was right there. I was about to leave. So I'm like, yo, they don't even care to to do this movie any sort of decentness, any sort of, And someone told me, I didn't see it, but someone told me that there was a shot where you actually saw the boom mic.
Oh, really?
I said no. And they were like, yeah. I said, I didn't see it. It was really quick. And I'm like, I hope it was really quick. So, I don't know.
Somebody
said
in the
it
movie?
was a guy's hat though, but I don't think it. I just looked it up. Someone said it's not the boom. it's a guy's hat. So like in the background. So that's what I said. That's people always want to say something. That's what I said. I said I didn't see. I said I think I would have noticed the boom mic. And someone saying, "Oh, that's the boom mic." but it's not. That's somebody's. Someone else said that's somebody's hat in the scene because she was an EMT worker, so that was probably another EMT worker, and that's like the brim of his hat. And now that you look at it, it kind of looks like that. But the point is, someone said that. Oh, but I'm saying, nah, I think y'all just trolling now. But because I
And
definitely didn't see that.
what movie
But
was this again?
Madam Web.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't the boom. I just looked it up. It wasn't the boom mic. People were just trolling, basically saying that. Yeah, if you look at it, quick glance, it looked like it could be the boom mic, but it's not. It's a hat. It's a brim of a hat. See, people thought when they put this picture out, they thought that was a boom mic, but it's not. If you really look, that's the brim of a hat. You know. So I mean, let's not. That's the brim of a hat because you can see the curve there on it there. It's the brim of a hat. If you quick look at it, you might think it's a boom, but I'm just like, if it's the mic, but I'm like, nah. First of all, shotgun mics on a set like this don't look like that. That's number one. And number two, that would just be so careless and crazy that they would let that slip through editing.
Yeah, and it got the fur on it. And Ralph, if you look at the edge of the brim, you can see the light, the green light, shining off the brim. So you could tell they did some kind of post lighting effects with it because the light is shining off the edge of the brim to the left matches the light in the rest of the room. And you can also see the silhouette of his nose in his mouth
or something, something like that, whatever that is. So I mean, that's funny. It was a funny thought that people were saying that, but it couldn't have been that crazy. But at the same time, it was pretty bad. And like I said, Marvel, based on their contract with Sony, if Sony continues to put out these really bad movies that pertains to the brand of Spider-Man, it's a possibility, not very likely, but it's possible that they could touch on their integrity clause or whatever they call it. Because if it's hurting the integrity of the property,
it most certainly is. And I think Disney and Marvel is being nice by not saying it. I think they're being very reserved because of the situation with getting Spider-Man in the Spider-Man universe.
Right. So that's what they're saying. Yeah, they're really trying to kind of stay away from it, even though they have went on record, they have advised Sony that they shouldn't put some of these movies out or do some of these movies even. And Sony continues to do it.
It's obviously a rag.
They continue to. Well, they're doing it. They're doing it because they want to make sure they keep the IP. So they just make it something. And so they I bet you they'll make a case for saying, well, Spider-Man was in this movie. Well, no, Spider-Man was not in this movie. That at the end of the movie, there was a baby born that you assume is Peter Parker, but they never actually said the name Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So guess what? That really won't work because that's an assumption. Now, unless they shot a scene that might be in a cut sequence, maybe hit the cutting room floor, where they actually said the name or whatever. But
but they're purposely not doing quality work. It's almost like they want to damage the brand. It's like they don't care about.
They're crazy.
How
I mean,
good.
The money, they're not making any money, dude. They're throwing away bread. And this
And
movie
I don't care what Jay-Z says.
money.
It doesn't work like that. It absolutely works like that. If you're in a business and your business is losing money, that money that you lose is a write-off. You can claim that as a loss on your taxes. And
Oh well,
that's how
that's
companies
the
get
same
over.
reason why Warner Brothers is in trouble now. Because of the stuff that they're doing with their films. You know, people was thinking that they were purposely making bad films and writing them off and not releasing them and stuff like that. And yeah, they were they're under investigation right now, you know, for that thing. So I mean, Sony, you better get it together, man. Let Marvel run the ship, man. This is what they do. You know, stop being petty. Stop being petty. Okay, we know you have the property. We got you. You came when Marvel was desperate. You and they only paid like a miserable like $7 million for the
For
for the IP.
yeah, and which I'm surprised that Marvel didn't do like what they did with everything else and put a term limit on that. They kept an open contract, which is stupid. Like, why would you give away your IP?
Marvel. They the
Listen, I
lights
knew
was
that they were,
almost off.
they were in dire straits, and I understand. But you know what? You put yourself in that position when you wouldn't pay your writers like Todd McFarlane and what's the other dude name from X Force?
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, Tom.
Rob
Tom Lee,
Liefeld
Rob
and Jim
Liefeld,
Lee.
Jim Lee. Even Jay Lee. You know, he hung around for a while, but he ended up leaving Marvel after a while. A lot of the artists. You know,
Well, I mean, this is what happens, and they were in dire straits, and yeah, they only paid them $7 million for IP of Spider-Man and all of the
and people
Spider-Man
understand
characters and villains and stuff like that. So,
that's a
but like I
crazy and
said, that integrity clause can come to play if they keep making these bad movies. It hurts the
it should come
integrity
into
of the
play. It
brand.
should come into play ASAP. And
I hope it
Marvel
does.
and the crazy thing is Marvel would have a good case because they could present their numbers of Spider-Man versus their numbers of Spider-Man, and they could say Spider-Man being in other films and show the numbers of Spider-Man making an appearance in other films. Hell, if they use Infinity War or Endgame, it's a wrap for Sony. The judges gonna be like, "I rule in the favor of the plaintiff. Give them their shit back."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that would be good. And I also think that that also makes sense as to now, given the clause that they have to make a dedicated Spider-Man film every so often. That's why they spread out this freaking Spider-Verse movie like they did. Because they can't go more than I think like 4 years or something like that without making some sort of Spider-Man movie or something like that. And they they put this out and they spread out this part 2 to the across the Spider-Verse because they know they have nothing in the pipeline for Spider-Man movies. So, not them. So and on top of that, obviously they're back and forth right now with Marvel about Spider-Man coming and appearing in, Secret Wars and stuff like that. So it's a mess, and it's like Sony, like you already know what it is, bro. When he appears in an MCU movie, the movie makes $1 billion basically. So what's the problem? But they're being petty. So we'll see. We'll see. Thanks everybody. Shout out to everybody over in the chat room over in IG. Tony Perez said, "Yo, can we talk about Halo episode 4?" I don't watch
I
it.
ain't never seen it.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't watch
yeah.
that show.
Oh yeah. Y'all need to watch
Sorry,
that
I don't
show.
watch it. But
Yeah, y'all need to get on that. It's actually this season is better than the first season.
But we have everybody that came through over there. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all who shout us out over there and Instagram. Everybody over here, of course. Joseph Tanner. Shout out to Heaven Hollywood came through. Shout out to my cuz. Everybody that came through show love. We appreciate it. And to you, the viewer that's going to be watching this after the fact, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share with your friends and drop a comment if you like. Tell us what you thought about. What was your thoughts on the Mia Culpa film? What was your thoughts on this Miller's Girl film? If you did see it, uh, too much, over the top, whatever people were saying. Let me hear your thoughts on it. I don't think it's a big deal because it really wasn't nothing going on. It's not like he was, like I said, on either of them. It's not like it was Monsters Ball, especially with the Miller's Girl thing. There was really it was hardly any physical contact, let alone sex. So it was just, it was just more psychologically erotic. You know what I mean? And, so there you go. A little F me eyes, some, little cute looks and provocative dressing and sexy talk. That's pretty much the film. So
Hey,
there you
listen, I
go.
just want to say one thing. Tony Press is right. I don't know if y'all heard me before, but Halo, the second season, is definitely the bomb. It's better than the first season. A lot better.
Yeah. I haven't seen even the first season. I haven't, it's funny because I was not a fan of the game either, so I just didn't turn on to it at all. So, but that's what's up. Speaking of new season, the I think today premiered this season of the new Walking Dead show with
Rick and Michonne. It started
Rick
last night.
Grimes, or the return of Rick Grimes. Was that last night or today?
Last night. I
The
watched the first
return
episode
of
yesterday.
Rick Grimes. So yeah. It's a long time coming, man. I personally, it's a lot I got to do to get back on board, bro. I jumped off board on that show, so there's a few things I got to do to get back on board. I think they waited so long to they've been talking about this Rick thing for the longest. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I almost thought. I almost thought
and
it
the
wasn't going to happen.
last thing before I get out of here, this Cam Newton thing that's been going around. So very, very quickly, Cam Newton, as we know, ex-football player, ex-MVP, not ex-MVP, former MVP, has a football camp that he was that he does. And allegedly, not even allegedly, he got assaulted and jumped by 4 teenagers, right? Teenagers that are supposedly part of his camp. They actually attacked this man, and I guess I feel funny even saying that they attacked him because he handled all of them. I mean, that boy, man, that man manhandled them boys, all 4 of them, and didn't even lose his hat. His hat
That's the
didn't even
funniest
fall
part.
off.
The hat never came off.
Yo, my man had the hat off. Yo,
They tried to jump Cam Newton. What? How
they
stupid
didn't
can you
try.
be?
They
He
jumped
runs in
him.
and out
They
the
did
pocket,
jump.
dummy. He
Yeah,
dodged. He
exactly.
dodged
That
50. He
that
dodged
pocket
400-pound
awareness.
men for a living, and you gonna
That
throw
pocket,
jabs?
yeah, exactly. You throwing jabs at him. That pocket awareness kicked right in, baby. Buddy with the white shirt, you played yourself, bro. You tried to snuff him, and he said, "Whoop." Yeah, it was like, once again, he's in the pocket and somebody was trying to tackle him from behind. Here's a funny meme. The memes are going crazy. Somebody got to put here POV of Cam Newton was on their head. Like this picture. Because he had a hat on that was similar to that.
That
And
never
then,
popped off. That was the
it
funniest shit ever.
never came off. I say, yo, Cam Newton. I say, yo, you get it. People, the comments are hilarious, yo. They're like, yo, y'all getting manhandled by a nigga in a witch hat. It's like, he said, my man manhandling these. He said, my man handling these cats with a pilgrim hat on. And they were just going in. I'm telling you right now, Cam Newton hat brand is about to go popping because that's his own brand. It's like that's his own line or whatever. I forgot the name of the hats too. They shouted it out on Charlemagne and them shouted out the brand of the hat. It's like I think it's Mystique hats or something like that. I'm like, yo. So Cass be like, yo, I need me to get one of them. I need to get me one of them Cam Newton hats. You know what I'm saying? Put that hat on. I'm ready to dump somebody on their head.
It's like the cowboy hat, the cowboy movie that never comes off the cowboy head and he in a brawl.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It's like a barroom brawl in a saloon, and the cowboy hat never comes off, even when he gets punched. But I mean, he didn't even. They tried him, but he handled them all. And Cam Newton, shout out to Cam Newton because he really could have. He could have did worse. He could have rocked them to sleep if he wanted to.
And he didn't. He just kept
and
throwing
he
them around.
didn't. He just was throwing them off of him and throwing them around. He wasn't, I'm like, bruh, when Buddy in the white shirt tried to come with that punch, he just happened to miss him. I'd have floored all them little, you know what, MFers. They'd have got it. Cam's a better man than me. That's what Shannon Sharp said too. He said Cam is a better man than me because
you know what?
I wouldn't have just been throwing him around.
I would pray for the life. I'm praying for the life of the person right now that would ever try Shannon Sharp. Because Shannon Sharp is waiting.
Oh my God!
For somebody to roll up on him.
Just get the flowers now. Just give him the flowers now.
Like, I'm telling you, he's gonna go in. Everybody.
Shannon Sharp is gonna do like what LL said in I'm Bad. I got a gold name plate that said I wish you would.
You would. Yo, listen. Shannon Sharp is like what's his face? It's like Malik and Paid in Full. Anybody that ever said some wrong shit about me, anybody that ever looked at me wrong.
Yeah, Shannon ain't playing. I mean, remember they used to. One of his nicknames on the field was the Incredible Hulk. They used to call him the Incredible Hulk. Shannon is built, man.
Yo, look at that dude's body.
Yeah,
that dude look like if he let off
in great
he's still
shape.
lifting. He's still in great shape. He said point blank on first day. He said he think he could outbench The Rock. Now I was like, I don't know, man.
I mean, he's still lifting, but like I said, yeah, Shannon's like, you better than me, bro. And shout out to Cam Newton, man. And these idiots, these little punks, what they call it? What they the
bitches?
TSP. I say, yeah, these the small punks, the small PUSSY,
the small punks.
Yeah, I'm like, yo,
the small sucker pussies.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, nah, son. They yeah, that's they're whack, yo. This backfired on you, bro. Y'all tried to go viral, and now you're going viral for the wrong reasons because everyone that's watching it is like, yo, you let this man wash you. How you jump? I think Jess Hilarious said, how you try to jump a nigga and get jumped.
But here's the thing: they were trying to start a trend, which is dangerous because all it takes is for one famous person to get bodied.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be coming for everybody. And it's some of these niggas you don't want to fuck with. Like I wouldn't fuck with Jamie Foxx. I wouldn't mess with Usher. I wouldn't roll up on Denzel.
Usher got hands, bro. Usher box, bro.
Usher got hands.
Usher got hands. You don't want that. You don't want that smoke. Usher got hands, man. So that's another reason why he don't be sweating these cats when they be trying to Usher doing this, Usher doing that. Usher is not sweating these cats, man.
And remember when they tried to
hands.
When Chris Brown and them people tried to fuck when they had to jump him. They couldn't.
Well, allegedly. Allegedly. So I mean, yeah, allegedly when that happened, he got jumped supposedly. So yeah, there ain't nobody trying to shoot no heady with him. He got them hands, man. He will definitely put the paws on you. So, But yeah, man. So anyway, that's how I want to end it. Shout out to Cam Newton, man. Cam Newton is from a town. He's from Atlanta area. It's a smaller town from Atlanta area. And you come back. This is what I'm saying, and I have to say that too. Like I have to echo Shannon Sharp. This
You can't go back
generation,
home.
bro. This generation's crazy, man. Like what
Yeah.
is when they have no respect.
None.
When did it become cool to disrespect our black heroes or leaders or athletes, whatever you want to look at them
When it
as?
becomes when it comes normal to just disrespect grown folks when you ain't being
Grown
disrespected.
folks, your elders, period.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That's because they not raised right. Sorry, I have to say it. Yep, I sound like an old boomer by saying
But
it,
that's the truth.
but it is
True.
what it is.
Now,
It's
here's
the
what I
truth.
want to make clear. Now, some things never change. You are going to have kids that that are just defiant, like me.
Yeah,
My
I
mother
mean, there's
taught me.
some
My
that
mother
are, but
taught.
those are exceptions to the rule,
Yeah,
so
like
to
my mother
speak.
taught me at an early age. You don't let nobody talk to you crazy. And unfortunately, I took that attitude and went to teachers with it. Like, nope, don't talk to me like that. I'm not
Yeah,
answering nothing until you talk to me correctly, which I was wrong
yeah,
for. I was being disrespectful.
right,
But a
right.
lot of kids nowadays, it's like it's like the norm.
There's no respect.
It,
They don't have no respect for the elders. They don't have no respect for teachers. No one who's in a
Nobody.
leadership position gets any respect from this generation. They just don't respect them. And it's so weird and it's just wrong.
how
And
they, and
really,
look,
to be honest with you, Cam, big up to you, brother. You showed restraint, and I salute you, my brother. But you
I
probably should have just put the beats on all of them.
yeah.
So
I gotta
maybe,
ask
the-
this.
just
I gotta
maybe,
ask this
they
question,
can
and
learn a little respect.
I
yep.
gotta ask this question. I'm just curious. Like the three of you guys, what made you think you were actually going to take on a professional football player that's six
Hmm.
foot six, two foot
And
two
it was
sixty
actually a
five?
fourth one who jumped in, so it was four
Who?
total.
But
First,
what
those
makes you?
three.
But what
Yep.
makes you guys think that you four bitches are on the level to be taking on a professional football player that gotta
I,
dodge? They gotta dodge people coming at him at 30 miles an hour, and he's outrunning them.
Mhm.
He's
Dodge,
Ralph,
putting
dodge
he's
300-pound people coming at him, running at
right.
him.
He's
250, 300
he's
pound
running.
guys
He's running,
coming
putting
at him, and he's
shoulders into
shaking them
people,
off.
knocking them down.
Right.
But he's running,
Yeah,
putting shoulders into people, knocking them down.
yeah.
What made y'all think y'all was going to be able to jump him and really get away with it? That's
but
what I want.
I'll tell you why. Because they thought, oh, it's Cam Newton. He ain't playing football no more. He old. He washed up. See, their
Mhm.
definition of old is twisted. We are not, and I got to preference this. We are not our parents. Even
Right.
me with my medical problems, roll up on me if you want to. I'm gonna stab you. It's just because
Right.
I can't. I don't
I ain't
have
got
my
time
hands
for it.
like I
I
used
tell
to.
people point blank, I'll kill you and not think nothing else about you. I can get
It,
fired once,
it,
but
it,
you can be fucked up forever. That's
yeah,
how I live life.
exactly. We are
Yeah.
not our parents. See, our
Yeah.
parents would
It's
get out
not.
there and scrap with some of these young people. I remember my
Yeah.
dad got some hands laid on him. He put the kid down, but that kid gave my dad a couple of lumps. And it was like at that point, my dad was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to start shooting these little niggas out here
Yeah.
because they
Well, I mean,
they off the
that's
chain.
where it's gonna be. That's what's gonna happen. So the bottom line is, but to be honest with you, if you really look at the generation now, why you think so many of these young dudes getting laid down the way they are so early in their age? Because these cats is reckless, man. They all reckless right now, and a lot of them are getting literally getting laid flat. Shot, killed, whatever it is, because they testing the wrong person.
People,
Yeah. Listen. Lawrence Taylor might be hitting 60, but if I saw him and he was having a bad mood, when I said there be like I'm a kick Lawrence Taylor. I'm gonna beat up Mike Tyson. Listen, did you ever see the video? Did you ever see the video?
Yeah,
Will Smith, I think
yeah.
I beat Mike Tyson. Think
Right.
about
Yeah.
think
I
about
mean,
young Mike
come
Tyson
on, bro.
compared to now grumpy old Tyson. He's still
Yeah.
he more dangerous now than he was in
He's
his
more
20s.
dangerous now than he was then. I mean, bottom line is these cats, and of course, let's be honest, clout is a hell of a drug. It's worse. It's becoming worse than cocaine. Clout
Mm-hmm.
is a hell of a drug. People want to film stuff of course you filming it for a reason. You know you jumping cam and someone is filming it. You know it's being filmed because you want it to be on go viral. But you went viral for the wrong reasons, people, young men. Now everyone is clowning you.
They're gonna call
Now
you a
you're
bunch
being
of
clowned.
bitches. Bunch of
Right.
bitches.
You being clowned because you got straight dealt with by one man, and y'all are four. Jumped
Now
this man, and he took
here's
care
the
of it. Took care
unfortunate
of
side
business.
to that, West. The unfortunate side is now Cam probably can't go back to Atlanta now because now it's going to be some get back. If Cam goes to Atlanta now, he
You
got to
know,
go with security.
well, Cam should have had security from the beginning. It's a shame you can't go back to your neighborhood. You giving back to your neighborhood, but I'm gonna need you, Cam, to get your front line, get your security with you, because this is the second or third time that some young cats disrespected Cam Newton. This is the first time they ever tried to put hands on him. But I remember a couple of years ago, another video went viral with Cam Newton and some kid calling him washed up, saying he suck, and they going back and forth with a a young kid. Oh, you didn't. I'm sitting there like, yo, what is wrong with these cats? I understand you, and the funny thing is, y'all idolize the people that are on social media and on reality TV and things like that. Those are people you're idolizing, and there's people who are. You're in a freaking football camp. You obviously, you would think that you want to play football. Cam Newton might be the only. He might be the biggest star that you may ever meet, especially now that you done did this. But you're gonna sit here and try to play him? Why? You know what I'm saying?
And
And he's
how
doing this. He giving his own time to y'all.
and money to you.
So
And it's crazy because how is he
get
washed
me
up
started.
when he's a potential NFL Hall of Famer? Eventually, he's
No,
going to be
former
a
MVP.
former MVP. How many Super Bowls has he won?
He
Well, he
hasn't
ain't
won
won no
any.
Super Bowls, but he is an MVP. I mean, I think the guy played what
He
16
played
years
in
in the
one Super
NFL.
Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
come on, leave that man alone. And like Wes said, he gave it his own time. He made enough money.
Yeah.
He ain't got to do none of this stuff.
Ain't got
He's
that.
doing it
Cam
because he
Newton
wants
has
to
enough
get back.
money to never do any stuff like that. He's doing a football camp because he wants to give back. So you know what? I'm gonna end it on that note. Y'all people, F you little punks that are out there. You know, it's ridiculous, man. Cam Newton, big up to you. Salute you, sir. And don't even give your time to these folks that don't appreciate it in the first place.
Exactly.
And that's where I'm gonna leave it. So yeah, big up to everybody once again. Everybody over there on the Instagram side, we appreciate y'all coming through, checking out the show. Cam Newton, big up to him. You know, he did what he had to do, kept it moving, and that's that. Come back next week if you can on Instagram. Check us out. Check us out next week on obviously on the other show on the YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.